When we last left off, our intrepid adventurers made their way to the city of Anders Bay after finally finishing their downtime. Tarnavak did a whole bunch of stuff to further his goals of becoming the once and future emperor, including, I believe, last session you had your meeting with Sira to talk about possibly flipping one or the other of the Hobgoblin ambassador or his personal bodyguard, but came to the conclusion that you might be better off using your time to have Lorna start training some new spies to go into the Empire.
The actual conclusion was I wanted her to try to gather intel on them.
Yes. I mean, she's doing that too, but I do think you settled on having her, eventually start training spies.
Yes, eventually.
Yeah, when she's done with this, and she's taking her time, so there's no risk of failure on or risk of rumbling herself. You will eventually get the info you need. Nahia paid a trip down to Anders Bay a little bit ahead of everyone else, and got to duck in to the Witterbloom, say hi to Elzavetta's mom, and then peek into the old crypt underneath, where instead of cobwebs, you found some lizard folk with big ol' flamey ice swords, and an Assyrian who had come and claimed the place in the name of Sinatrea. Nahia was given permission to go in and pay her respects at the tomb, and within found that the dragon princess buried under the city looks a little bit different in this timeline now. Looks a little bit more like Tiamat. Shortly after, the rest of the group arrived in town, got some cookies from Leona's mom, and have made your way down to the city smaller docks to catch a rowboat across the river to the old Royal Barrows, where you hope to meet Rejan and his compatriots, and perhaps, once and for all, settle things. Before you disembark your boat over yonder, is there anything anyone would like to do to get ready for the meeting?
Prepare my T-bows.
Well, let's see. Who is here, by the way? The peoples.
You guys should be on the Andrews Bay map, so everyone in the boat is down here.
By the way, how much are we expecting violence on this?
We're not planning for it, but if he doesn't listen to reason, which, based on our last encounters, strikes me as unfortunately likely, then we'll have no choice.
Then I'll make sure to take my cart with me.
Well, question. What's the name again? Right. This here is not the best with the whole magic stuff.
In what way, Ursula?
Well, Usually when they cast, you have to try to dodge it or maybe tough it out or, use your head or whatever.
And what about it? Sorry.
Well, if they're gonna be... We know they sling magic and build stuff, at least.
DCL, you're hot miking.
My hot liking.
I don't know how, but you are.
Alright, so picking up the wrong one. Well, I had the alchemist cook up a little thing with the help of a lot of research into it, but these holds up some swirly azure potions. Help you resist magic.
Functional
for-
potions of magic resistance.
Yes. They took a little bit to get going and cooked up and all that stuff. I left a note for in case anybody wanted them, then you could just have them cooked up. So just start handing out. They last sadly for 10 minutes, but that's 10 minutes. It's good stuff.
As nice as the preparation is, I won't be needing spell resistance potions.
Oh, you?
Like that.
Let's just say I've developed my own method. However, I'll still take a one if you have one extra. Never hurts to be too cautious.
I brought for everyone. Because if from what we saw last time, if it's gonna start doing the whole bad touch demon summon spell stuff crap, then yeah. And you got and just started Tarnavak, and you got my secret stuff with you, so
Aye.
oof. Okay, so everyone gets one potion of magic resist, which gives you advantage to your save against all spells and abilities. Okay.
So
So in case you, if you want to drink it now, you can drink it now, so at least you're prepared. Yeah.
for goodness.
What?
Thank you.
So just chuck that. I have a few spares, but I have enough for everyone.
I should be fine.
Yeah, I hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Indeed. A wise stratagem.
And as you said before, it just gives Tarnavak a thumbs up, and the only real word in Goblin that she knows, because it was repeated so many fucking times, she would just give him a thumbs up and say, "School necklaces."
How do you do, fellow kids?
Well, like skull necklaces, am I right?
Well, she doesn't know what the word means, but she said it in Hobgoblin, and she can't really pronounce it properly, so.
Well, the effort's adorable all the same.
All right. So
Heck,
the party disembarks from their little rowboat. Szooth takes some effort and probably a little help from Hashat to pick your cart up and heft it up onto the docks on the other side. There's just a single small building here. Looks like it's been abandoned for some time, and the dock itself is in disrepair. I don't think people come this way very often. But the barrow itself is impossible to miss. A huge dome-shaped hill rising up out of the earth and surrounded by old stacked stones, forming a column of arches leading towards the entrance to the place, long since sealed, of course. And as you near, you can see movement up on the hilltop. Humanoid figures. As you draw even closer, you all notice a shadow on the ground, much larger than a human, draconic in shape and size. Szooth, for a moment your heart jumps in excitement, but alas, when you look up, your keen eyes identify not a dragon, but a dangerous creature all the same. A wyvern has winged out from the clouds and is barreling towards the hilltop.
Towards us?
Yes, towards you.
Uh,
I guess Szooth, we're trade adventurers at this point. Szooth will just yell, "Incoming!"
From where?
He'll point when he says it.
Yes, Szooth just points up and ahead, and all of you crane your necks up in time to see this four-armless dragon shape crash down heavily on the top of the barrows, and it lets out a tremendous high-pitched shriek. Great frills on the top of its head expanding as it cries out in exultation, and atop it is a rider. I shall move you over to a new map. Several other figures come out from the shadows as you near the hilltop, some more familiar than others. See, on the wyvern back is Rejan's sister, Teresh. Her bow is slung in a large quiver on the creature's side, and you can see it's been done up in chainmail barding. Heavy links of metal clinging to the creature's scales, improving its already formidable defenses. And below her, leaning against one of the stone columns, is a chesty cowgirl. She holds up a small blackboard with the word "Hi" already written out on it, surrounded by little hearts. The rest of the posse is much less welcoming, staring from behind beaked masks or from behind large bows, knocked but not drawn.
Medical professionals.
No.
And where is the man himself?
Tarn, roll insight real quick. Speaking up right away. Holy fuck.
I guess Marek probably couldn't help with that, but...
In this case, no, but still, that's a substantial roll, nonetheless. Yeah, so when you speak, even before she hears the words, the woman on the wyvern back looks at you with a mix of deep concern and trepidation. And then when she hears what you have to say, a moment of concern passes over her face before she shouts back, "I'm sorry to say my brother has fallen ill. He could not make it, but I will speak in his place. I hope that will suffice."
Not especially his mother is worried sick. In fact, worried about both of you.
May we approach?
Stay out of sword strike range, if you please.
Stop that.
Yeah. Tarn, I imagine your danger senses are up in this particular encounter, just as a baseline, so you can go ahead and give me an active perception roll as you approach.
Sure.
The high rolls, alright. Yeah, so this tomb has a big old heavy stone door. The sort of thing you don't open except on very special circumstances. But you notice that the dirt just ahead of it has been disturbed, and then kicked back over to make it look like it's not been disturbed. But something's gone in there, and probably quite recently.
Something's going where?
Sounds like worms to me.
Oh no.
Yeah, something has gone inside, if I could get my measure tool, inside the barrow here, pretty recently.
I assume the others are coming up with us, so I'll just nudge a couple and I'll nudge Nahia and Szooth and incline my head towards the door.
Szooth will give a nod.
Thrash, why did you and your brother not return to your family?
Would you, if you knew that a man like Winter was pursuing you?
But he isn't actually doing any pursuing, you fucking psychopaths.
Oh, I admit you may find that hard to believe. It is the truth. He is... I would not say he is willing to let bygones be bygones with this matter, for he does wish the return of the sword you took from him. But that is his goal, not your blood.
And indeed, this matter only began after you attacked him. After, sacrificing a crowd of innocent people to a bunch of deadly worms.
She scowls and says, "This matter began long before that."
Not for you, it didn't.
Please, Nahia. I understand that the wound is still fresh, but we're trying to act in forgiveness here. Let us forget spilled blood at this point.
That is true, but we have also given them every chance, and it seems that they are not willing to pay honesty in turn.
We cannot force them on this subject. I don't think we'll convince them if we simply get angry at their reluctance.
I believe it is entirely in our right to get angry if they make a deal and are already in the position to break it. There is
Very-
no Rejan bullshit about him being ill. Or if he is, it's because you've got him infested with those fucking worms.
Do not make assumptions, Nahia. There is genuine worry in her.
That is only so. But I worry if it is because they are about to make their last mistake.
You think I would hurt my own brother?
No, I do not think him ill at all. Or if he is, it is a manner of his own idiocy in preparing some kind of terrifying, dangerous concoction. Or a madness taken point from holding on to an ages-old sword filled with a woman's soul.
Nahia, roll insight.
Sure.
Can I keep my 23 here?
Yeah, you got a solid read on her. See if Nahia gets clued in here.
Sure. 22?
Yeah, all right. When you mention madness from the sword, you both can sense distinct concern pass over her features. You think you might have hit the nail on the head, or at least she thinks so.
Is that a Kina?
Yeah.
That'd be okay.
Welcome,
Hello.
man.
We just started the
Okay.
meeting.
Cool.
Rejan
Sorry,
isn't here. He's pleading sick, and
What?
context clues suggest his sickness is being driven mad by having a possessed sword.
I see.
Perhaps we could offer our assistance on that matter.
Indeed. It is a secondary matter we had concerns about regardless. Does he ever speak of Tiamat?
She furrows her brows. Yes, the name has come up once or twice.
Tiamat's daughter has sat in that sword, and he has inadvertently stolen her soul.
Wait, what?
I explained that one last
Mm-hmm.
last session. The
Oh.
sword that he's carrying is Tiamat's kid in it. The body's alive,
Okay,
but the
good.
soul is missing, and she's not holding the sword.
Wasn't it half the soul?
Close enough to. I don't think that like splitting hairs in this instance make a difference.
Well, but a technical point it would be because half the soul is just.
Okay, but as far as they've gone crazy because an incredibly powerful creature's soul is fucking with them. It doesn't matter if it's a soul or a half a soul. In fact, I guess it makes him sound more like a bitch baby if it's half a soul. Like, ooh, fucking big man can hold a sword with half a soul in it.
Yeah, you know, half a soul of a fucking ancient dragon.
Alright. Shall we get character?
Yeah. Okay, my bad then.
Tarish shakes her head, says, "Be that as it may, I came here with Rejan's permission to offer truce with your group, get you out of our affairs."
What are your terms?
We will contain ourselves to attacks only directly on demons. In exchange, you stop protecting the Vampire Lord. Just walk away.
No can do.
The irony of
No.
that statement.
If anyone should be walking away, it is you.
There is a lot more to all of this when you know. And if it were so simple as just you kill demons, we let you do it, then that would be one thing, but it is not.
Does not have to be more complex than that. They have taken countless lives. It is time they paid with theirs.
Oh,
I
I've
won't
already
let-
played.
I will not
And what about all the
let-
lives you've taken?
Then when we're done, you can string us up too. It
Oh,
won't matter after that.
well, isn't that the lovely easy case for martyrdom? How very simple.
I have to ask, why is it that you're still so relentless on hunting and hurting demons? Is it, as you say, to make them pay for deeds done in the past?
Of course it is. You don't understand, clearly. That bastard is responsible for the death of our parents, Rejan and mine, for raising Elsavetta's home. Those were not done by any mere hellspawn. Those were by Winter's own hands. Him and those directly beneath him. For that there must be
Were they,
vengeance.
though? Do you
Yes.
have proof of that?
I saw it with my own damned eyes.
You saw a demon?
Teresh will nod emphatically. I saw Winter snuff out the life of my mother.
Where did this happen?
Years ago, outside Anders Bay. The same happened to my father before that at another demon's hands. And as for Elsavetta's home, I'm sure you've all heard of Kalensburg, the ransack of that city by demons before the war.
I've
It was
heard
her
those
ancestral
orcs.
home. Her grandparents died by demon blades.
I thought that was orcs.
Yeah, I actually think that one was orcs. Look,
I would
Greymore was
expect it was
orcs.
both.
Yeah,
okay.
Kalensburg was both.
right.
You found Winter Vanguard corpses under the town in Kalira's temple.
All right.
I'm sorry, but the quest to end violence and vengeance has to start somewhere, and someone is going to miss out.
That is a
You've been affected by terrible tragedy, but allowing you to go on murdering doesn't excuse any of that. How many families do you think you've broken apart already yourselves? And you think, oh, well, it's okay because I'm happy to be painted as the bad guy? What kind of open-hand logic bullshit is that? It is no different at all. It's a matter of scale, sure, but the deeds are identical. Your brother's gone so insane he's summoning demons himself.
He didn't mean to.
Of course,
Still
I'm sure
learning
he
to
didn't
control
mean
his
to.
power.
It's not even his power, he stole it.
Now, there's a whole lot of like dragon guardians in that tomb, and if they find out that that sword is missing, we're
And
not the
that the
ones
person
that
who
you're going
took
to have
it.
to be worrying about.
Indeed. No less if Rejan ends up using it and trying to start another holy war. Literally, another holy war.
if anything, I would hope at least the wishes of your dragons that you worship would be enough to maybe lay down your arms.
Teresh will shake her head. What dragon guardians? What are you talking about?
You have not returned to where the sword was taken from, then?
Why would I? We got what we wanted from that place. I've been back since we were teenagers.
What you did was you looted holy ground.
And they very much wish to have their sword back.
Indeed.
Who is they?
The Church of Senatria has returned and retaken that lost catacomb. It is re-sanctified, and now... How many guardians did they place, Nahia?
There were 15 in number there, each of them capable of drawing blades of fire to their hand. But they belong to a race that, operates at Lost City of ancient Ultra Wizards, because they're Senatria's guardians.
You had fortune in your youth to go there without opposition, but now its ancient keepers have returned, and what was taken, if they learn of it, and in time they certainly will, they will make you pay in blood with interest.
Her lips draw tight.
She is Tiamat's daughter.
The granddaughter of Senatria herself.
And they tied to Lyris. If they find out this, not only will you have Senatria, the actual god dragon, on you with all her powers, you will have the kingdom of Lyris purging their way until they find you. This is no joke. We don't want any of this to happen.
You started with a noble cause, one that I think most all of us here would have taken up ourselves. But it's time to find a different way.
I mean, heck, if you want a real cause, like an actual good cause, because you and your brother and Elsevera, you want to be the hero. You want to be heroes. Right now, you guys are the villains of what's going on. There's pirates rampaging. There's Amazon slaver pirates rampaging. The Empire's breathing down everyone's necks. There was a hive of hornets invading the Dale just not long ago. Orc raiders on the coast. Have
All
you ever
you've
heard?
been doing is sitting here just doing dark alchemy.
And have you ever heard of a name called Dehag? There's a literal evil demigod plaguing Onderland and Avara, preying on children and whispering dark secrets into people's minds and dreams in order to get them to serve him and be his brood creatures.
The point
There's
is,
a whole cult of it, and you're tramping around ignoring all of it.
there very much is a world of hurt out there, and instead of trying to fix any of that, you're focusing on the past. And by your own words of admission, becoming the same hate and pain that you caused that motivates you so much.
I think that is enough of us browbeating you. I ask your forgiveness for that. And I would, instead of another lecture, offer you a solution. One last matter for vengeance and honor. And just let it be after that.
What last matter would that be?
For all his wicked sadism and a vampire still has its own sense of honor. You or your brother, against him, a duel of honor to end this feud, one way or the other.
A fair one. No interference from your pets.
Or from yours?
Agreed.
I think my brother would be amenable to that.
One condition.
What?
Regardless of how it ends up, that sword has to return to its resting place.
If he does not surrender it. Well, we will have to make him surrender it.
We will give you no interference in settling the matter with Winter, but after it is done, we would have to fight you.
I will do what I can to convince Rejan to accept your terms. Both of them.
Let us know by ascending immediately. If you choose to go AWOL or under the radar, then we will have to assume that you do not intend to see this through honorably. And in the interest of the peace of the people, we'll take action ourselves.
Fine. And as a gesture of good faith, Trish will take a little pebble out of her pack and toss it at Elzaveta to get her to look up her way. She signs something at the cowgirl. I'll take a cautious step towards Tarnavak and unbuckle the sword from her hip. If your vampire is as honorable as you say, he should have his sword back.
We appreciate this.
Elza will do the nightly presenting of the bastard sting onto Tarn.
Oh, she stood in front of Szooth. I half imagine her doing it to Szooth, but she has to like double crouch because he's so damn small.
No, Szooth is just completely obscured by cleavage. She can't even see him.
He may as well
Oh,
be.
yeah, and she
invisible.
can't hear him, so she has no fucking idea he's even there.
No,
Wait,
not
what?
at
Can't
all.
you hear me?
No, she's deaf.
Oh, right.
She literally has no
deaf mute.
idea you're there. She is incapable of telling because you're beneath her eyesight.
She can't sense me at all. It's the perfect stealth check.
I mean, yeah, you absolutely have advantage to sneak up on the deaf person, for sure. If you even need to roll at all. The only way she can detect you is by looking at you or smelling you.
I will carefully take the sword from her and hold it.
You immediately feel this aura of bloodthirst and evil on this sword, and when you get it from Elzaveta, she breathes a little sigh of relief and steps back towards the stone.
Do you want me to hold it by chance?
I will be fine.
Understood.
So, ascending within a week's time. By then, God's willing, Rejan will be back into his right mind.
If he is not, make the sending regardless. I'll turn and look at Nahia. We can afford to wait for him to recover, or if you need it, we can give our assistance.
Non-lethally, of course. I would rather he not die just to return the goddess's daughter. Well, granddaughter.
Teresh will nod and then he'll glance towards Tarn and say, "You okay, DCL?"
Water went wrong.
Oh,
Gotta hate it.
Hmm.
So yeah, Teresh will look at Tarn and say, "Speaking of daughters, how is Kunigun?"
she is well.
You tell her you adopted her.
Shush, Ben.
Sorry.
We after her former guardian died, she had been with Mother Layla, and my wife and I have now taken her in. We are seeing to her care. She has fine tutors and is making friends in Ivara.
That is good. I trust she will stay well, so long as we perform the sending in time.
Even if you do not.
She's not a hostage.
She looks confused for a moment and shakes her head. You all are very strange indeed, but thank you.
Your niece is a fine young lady. I must confess she had charmed all of us far before we knew of a relationship. Yeah. Sorry, was Kuni not her niece? I thought.
Kuni is Teresh's daughter.
Oh, I thought she was Rejan's daughter.
That is what Rejan has also said.
Oh no.
And what? Rejan and Teresh
Yes.
siblings? Oh. Well, I'm still saying niece because yeah. Well, and indeed, the very first time we oh god, what's the name of the place? Kadar, right?
Kadar.
Indeed, the very first time we were in Kadar, we played with little stick swords together.
But you should know that, shouldn't you?
Yes, we've kept eyes on our little girl. But as you can imagine, she'll gesture at the group around her. We couldn't let her be around us once we committed to this course.
Far
She is-
be it for this to be an awkward question, but where will your creepy doctors go after this matter?
She shrugs. I don't know. We haven't thought that far ahead. They're not slaves or anything. They may do as they will.
Sure. But if they go creating super weapon creatures and planting them in wizards and starting village-wide murders again, it will not be pretty.
I'm sure.
None of those things you described ever were.
No, as in what I will do to them.
Fair enough.
I will pass that message along.
I will pointedly look at the guy with the purplest hat and make sure he gets that message fucking loud and clear.
He just, takes a defensive step behind the big pillar here.
That's what I thought, bitch.
That pillar would make a real nice bomb.
Okay.
Watches that dude, scamper off. Shakes her head. Fine, then. I suppose that's our business concluded.
Indeed.
Though, this one is for you. Just gets out a fucking ledger. I just hold it up to, wave it up to Elsavet and say, and just mouth, give it to her.
Come up and reach. She'll reach around Nahia and then knee Szooth in the face, fall over. Oh,
Well, I'll probably be
I
there
will.
to catch.
I will also help catch her.
Will you?
What is your strength?
I can use my wisdom because of my stand, which I've gotten better with. So I just summon that to catch her. I'm not going to be using my wimpy
Two
noodle arms. Are you
huge
kidding me?
ghost hands just grab the tits as they fall down.
Honk.
Honk.
I get caught with a milk spray. Blech!
Yes, exactly.
It's okay. Szooth is used to that liquid.
Ugh.
Elzaveta
I'll-
will blush furiously and then snatch the ledger from Ursula. Hand it up to the Wyvern, which will hand it up to Teresh.
There. You can give that to Rejan and you both can read it if you want.
I do hope this isn't just a litany of explosive runes.
I can't do magic.
That would be a wild heel turn.
Who
No.
even does that?
Apparently, the people they know. Which is kind of sad.
I'm fairly certain the modern iteration of the explosive rune spell doesn't even allow that.
No, it does. I mean, no, it probably does.
Well, you can check the first page if you want to understand something, but you should read it. It's not magic. But the words are, well, they have their own power. Right here, right now. You can open it up. There's no explosive. There's nothing wizard bullshit.
She will sigh and open the ledger. And this is the list of names, right?
Yeah, first page says literally those lost in the massacre. Well, I don't remember what the fucking time was.
The coronation.
And yeah, the coronation massacre and the desecration of Kadar.
She gives another big sigh and just closes it again. That's unkind. She'll stick it into
No.
the saddlebag of her wyvern.
No, it's not.
Fine. We'll hear a sending from us in a week, one way or another. She will pull the reins on her big old Draco mount, and it will give another big screech and make for the clouds. Elzbieta cranes her head up, watches her go, like, hey, wait. Looks back at the rest of you.
We'll quickly sign. Would you like a lift back to your mother's?
She will nod.
All right. We'll offhand.
Sorry you got left behind for dramatic tension.
I'll hand Szooth the book so that he can write that.
I mean, she's a lip reader. She gotcha.
But he doesn't have lips. He's got exactly. He's got a kobold snoot. He can't read his lips.
that is entirely fair. Yes. Yeah, the rest of the cadre will kind of scatter to the winds and shadows.
Yeah. To her, you're like the voice equivalent of an adult in Charlie Brown.
Am I just a Pokemon? Oh no. I'm just a normal animal. I'm just making animal sounds that you can't understand.
And she has no idea what the fuck you are. You're weird.
No, the thing is, she reads the way you speak, the way she speaks.
Oh.
So she has real trouble fucking understanding.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Don't mind taking a boat back instead of dramatically teleporting away, so we can drop Elzbieta off at her mum's.
Where would we be teleporting to anyway?
We have to go back to
just
Avar.
back to the tower to be dramatic.
We know. We must go back to Avar. We
that is also true.
We have to relay the situation.
To be fair, he was probably watching, but yeah.
I mean, yes.
He'll want his sword back, and we probably don't want to carry it.
Certainly was, but
that's fair. I need to be right back very quickly.
I mean, it's polite just to, make sure.
Yeah. Give him his sword back. He's been anxious about it.
Yeah.
That's, the whole check to see if there's any spy magic or sabotage bullshit. Because if you're fucked in the head to the point that you're unstable enough to summon demons and can't even be here yourself, you're probably unstable enough to booby trap a fucking sword.
I hope she just forcibly takes the sword away from him. That would be the best course of action. Just knock him out, take the sword away from him.
Honestly, I suspect if he's currently too, Coco Loco to even do this meeting with us, despite the fact that we've gotten along pretty well as far as dragon gods are concerned, we're probably going to get a really concerned sending in a week that boils down to, alright, you have to stop him, it's too much.
Yeah, she was the one that
Quite
got the
possibly.
worms out in the first place. Because, come on, think about it. If they've been tailing us this entire, like, I've had this hunch this entire fucking time that she's been shadowing us when we were close to the areas. If she's that good, she's literally the only one that could have snuck those fucking worms out in the first fucking place. Like some fucking bonfire signal to, like, please stop him.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Like I
rule it
said,
out.
that's a theory. Sadly, I am not Becky with her fucking Sherlock Holmes mind pals bullshit.
Nope, you gotta. Your thoughts have to travel at the speed of thick.
Look, Ursula has a whole wrinkle now. It's fine.
True.
Yeah.
I fixed that bit that was pushing the wrinkle flat.
Yeah, there's just a
Yeah.
big dent in the skull. Just iron that out. It's fine now.
No, but the hilarious thing is that Ursula is closer in intelligence to a gelatinous cube than she is to what Becky was.
Savage.
Brutal.
Like, yeah, she would literally need 3 Ursulas intelligence to get to where Becky was.
Good lord.
Like, yeah, Becky was the same at the time. The only thing smarter than her was a literal fucking god.
Wait,
So,
shit.
yeah.
Where are we going to next? After that,
Well, first let us return the sword and have a quick chat with Winter.
do we have to?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the plus side, he promised little reward for returning it, so that's nice.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right, I guess.
Thank you. Okay.
I
at least
personally
now
am
I
going to
can-
request a really nice bottle of alcohol.
I'm going to get some fucking pain meds. Mild ones, don't worry, it's not fentanyl this time.
I'm gonna ask for some weapon enchantments.
That's not a minor reward.
I said I could ask.
It's true, and they go, have you tried drugs?
Yes.
Yes, is the correct answer. Can we hear yes? Ding ding ding, that's yes.
Alright, let me grab y'all's tokens and drag into the Magister's Tower. Why not? So when you head inside, you find the place much as you left it for most of you earlier that day. August is reclining on the main throne with a book resting in his lap. You can hear the demon daughters and Kisera, quote unquote, sitting upstairs having themselves a giggle. We'll look up, give an up nod. Oh, good job. You managed it. Bravo.
You are
Indeed.
watching then?
The fuck else am I gonna do with my time?
Well, prepare your clone would hopefully be one of them.
It's not like that thing needs to be babysat. It's just percolating upstairs.
Oh, what a terrible phrase. Should be ashamed of yourself.
Ashamed? I spent all day thinking that up.
Ugh.
What?
Still,
I don't want to
What's
think about
percolating?
the man coffee that's being produced.
Would you rather some of my man cream? Gesture his crotch.
Try harder.
Nah.
Fair.
I mean, at least it wouldn't be fermented now.
I've lost the
Alright,
point of this
that
Alright,
was
fair
pretty
turn.
good.
I've lost the point of this conversation. Should I be thinking of sexual innuendos or writing down a brewing recipe?
Little
Yes.
column A, little column B.
I let's percolate.
It's what you would do for, say, a coffee set in a pot, brewing for a long time. It's he's brewing right now.
Oh,
By the way, here's your sword.
stewing.
That, like stewing, but for beverages.
Yeah, there's a big
Okay.
haunch of raw meat stewing upstairs, and pretty soon it'll look like me. That'll be kind of creepy.
That is gonna be real weird.
Out of character, yes, indeed. The idea of 2 winters in this world is terrifying.
I just think that the first thing that's gonna happen is that if Winter goes down in this little, setup duel, is he's gonna start fucking Deadpooling everyone and walking around toddler pants in it. Look at me, I got a baby's hand right now. I bet I feel enormous.
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, as August will take the sword unceremoniously from Tarnavak, belts it back on like it's not really a huge deal. He'll say. So anyway, I was thinking on your little boat ride back over, it'd be pretty fucking funny if I just let that little bastard kill me, assuming he doesn't have some sort of soul trap, and make him feel all nice and powerful, and I get to go out and no one suspects a thing.
Don't you need at least another month before that's ready?
Well, yeah, but the sending's in a week, and we can schedule the duel whenever. Sounds like Rejan needs to percolate himself a while.
You really like that word.
I do now. Anyway, don't touch intelligent items you don't know what they do, kids. Real bad for your health.
Yeah, so it would seem. Especially when it involves stealing a goddess's granddaughter.
If he needs a place to rehabilitate himself, I know a really nice place up in Pergola that does that.
Actually, touching magic items is one of the few things kobolds never fear of.
Well, yeah, obviously, because when you die, it's like a PSA.
No, it's because we know if it is an intelligent magic item, it would rather just keep in its own shell than take over a kobold.
Yeah.
Have you made sure that it's not booby trapped?
What, the sword?
Yeah.
Nope. He sits down.
Not worried about it, are ya?
All right, fine. Pulls the sword out.
Yeah.
Oh, what are these new runes etched on it? No, this is weird. I prepared explode. Oh no, it's
I would really laugh if that actually was there and you just happened to forget.
No, they discharged that one. No, that. Yeah, the spell doesn't work like that anymore, unfortunately.
Oh no, it can. You can just get to. I mean, you're right. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Don't give me ideas.
Well, okay.
Look, I know how to get explosive runes through on a technicality. Don't get me wrong.
Okay. I was just making sure that they don't, booby trap it to spy on you and listen in or blow you up with it or things like that.
Fine. Twist my ears. Tarn, hit me. He'll pull the sword out and adopt a guarded stance.
I actually hit you?
No, the sword, Nimrod.
Szooth
With
slowly
your
takes
dispel
his claw
magic
away from.
sword.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick couple of strikes on it.
Ping, ping.
Well, one of them was a 19 on the dispel.
All right, well, that's pretty good. Pretty good. If there was anything on there, it is certainly dispelled now. You don't sense anything happen, though. I'll just flick the sword out a couple times. Seems fine. I have a feeling they didn't go into that encounter expecting to trade this. The compelling arguments you made.
Man, I was ready to like really lay into him too.
Yeah.
That's why I watched.
I had
Yeah.
I had a scroll of like Zone of Truth and a scroll of Major Image. I was going to replay the entire massacre at the coronation.
Brutal.
Just so they could see. See, this is what happened after you left. After we beat your ass and you got kicked out of there, this is what happened right after. Your little minions went crazy and killed everybody.
Yeah. And if I didn't get, if I didn't jump into that big one and fought it on the inside, it would have killed so many more.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they just don't really care, but
Well, that's because they've always been prepared to be martyrs. It's really easy to ignore everything that's wrong with you if you can place it down on a cause.
Like genociding another race. Meaning towards winter.
yeah, I felt
exactly.
like
You'll
that
know
was aimed
exactly
at
how
me.
this
Wasn't going to
works.
say anything, but thanks.
Sorry, it's something that I find rather hard to just forget.
I'm not asking anybody to forget. Grumble something about just not really giving a shit anymore. So, I'll have to go rescue Ursula's kid or something now.
Yeah.
It would be very nice.
And hopefully kill a demigod.
Yeah, well, for what it's worth, I tried mirror scrying the place. They've set up a ward around it now. Or they found another brain snake, one of the two.
I hope not. I would like to think she's a one-of-a-kind gal.
Everyone thinks that about their first or
There's gotta be
30th.
more than one of them.
At a time there was. It's only one of them I've seen in a long ass time, though. And again, apparently she was living underground on a tiny, uncharted island, so it's not like they're easy to find.
What happened to them back in your day?
Honestly, no fucking clue. I just
heard that
barely registered I stopped seeing them around, or hearing the stories, rather. It's not like they were very social to start with, just kidnap the occasional person and suck their brain out.
I heard that they ran afoul of your wife, and that's why they're not particularly around.
August just shrugs. Didn't tell me shit if that's the case.
For her, it would have been but Tuesday.
Yep.
He's like, God, I love that woman.
Yeah, he's like half-hard all of a sudden.
They truly are perfect for each other.
Our conversations go places with winter.
They really do. See, I'd miss this. I'd miss this if our crazy racist uncle died.
I feel like calling them the crazy racist uncles an insult to crazy racist uncles. None of them have committed actual genocides.
That may be true, but our experiences winter-centrically have been almost exclusively he couldn't be any more like a retired Uncle Owen if he had an open Hawaiian shirt at all times.
See, he just
I'm
has a
That's
incredibly
just his
jaded with the world.
post-retirement look.
Yeah, exactly. That is his retirement look. He's off to Waikiki next time.
See, Rejan is just worried that someone's gonna come in and offer him the heist of a lifetime, and which is gonna be, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
See, DCL,
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah, that's what actually, now that I think about it, that's what's being organized. Come on, you want to topple one last kingdom?
You son of a bitch, which happens to be my wife, I'm in.
As far as we know, Orishka's not Tarn's mom, but it could be. We
That
really
would be
just don't
pretty
know.
funny.
What, they got you pushing too many attunements?
I was more just referring to, like, Tarn's
Yeah, I
dad
know.
doing the... Yeah.
We should probably get going then. We have a timetable.
Indeed. It is time to unleash the violence.
Oh, right. One second. Before we leave, some point soon, we're going to go get that Ring of Regeneration. And apparently, it's being kept with a really, really old white. One that you know pretty well. Do you want us to bring its head to you? As just a, maybe you can mount it on a wall or something?
What, the White Queen? I killed that
Yeah.
bitch.
You're mixing up.
Am I mixing up whites?
Yes.
I thought he didn't kill that one. Is it different what I'm talking about?
So the White Queen and her 3 unliving daughters were also up in Stormvale, but they're not, as far as I recall, they're not related to the Ring of Regeneration.
I thought...
The bitch daughters are up in Stormvale, I suppose. What, do you want me to... Fuck bringing me their heads, I'll just come with you. I love a good ass whooping.
I think they're going to be busy being like man pudding.
Not at that stage.
Oh, no, I suppose not. Then again, you might be rendered the pudding of some other kind by your wife if we spend much more time occupied.
Yeah.
That is the hope. Yeah, sword's back, so I'm in action again. Let me know if you need help with the wife's leg thing or whatever. I'm kind of tired all of a sudden.
Yeah, you have yourself a good night.
Fuck, hate being old.
Yeah, that's right. You're both aging and mortal.
He's just gonna climb up into the chair and slump back. Don't get old, kids. This sucks.
I don't think I do.
The greatest punishment that could befall Lord Winter. He grows old and dies happy.
No, that's why I'm getting a fucking clone. Suck my entire asshole, Mom. Take this, immortality. Let's grow another one.
Wait, since when are you aging?
Since he became not a vampire.
Yes, it's you assholes' fault dragging me out into this. Out onto an adventure and saving my fiance's soul and all that. Hey, I'll never forgive you, frankly, as now I'm mortal. Briefly. Age is catching up, though. Getting a wrinkle. Elves shouldn't have wrinkles.
That is rather weird. Trust me, if you ever meet the son of Volvo, don't get involved.
The what?
Never mind, that's fine. I love that that's the entire plot of that story.
Okay, I'm actually falling asleep.
Okay.
Fucking hell. Yes, good luck on with your kid. Tell him I said hi.
Huh. Was that normal? I mean, just
No.
In
I'm going to
logs.
insight him to try to determine, has he
He
actually
fucking
fallen
knows?
asleep or has he just gotten bored?
It could be
No
both.
idea.
Hey, you
It could
get help
definitely
from
be both.
Mavic for this bullshit.
Yeah.
If he could have helped with this one, then sure.
Hold on. I think for insight, he probably just needs to roll his own check. Oh, give me a sec. Insight. Nope. No clue. Yeah, he's passed the fuck out.
weird. He is like out cold.
Well, we should
Uh,
too.
yeah, I'm just gonna like saunter on by and go ask his wife to check on him just in case. And also, you know, update her on everything we got up to, so she knows the score.
Yeah. Ari will come down a few moments later. Yes, he's been doing this a bit more and more since the mortality thing. He'll press a couple fingers to his forehead and is taking his temperature. No, he's fine. Just a lot of lost sleep catching up with him, I suppose.
As long as you're sure.
Alright, he wouldn't be used to the concept of sleep cycles.
No.
1,000 years of sleep dead. Jeez.
Damn, and here I was hoping a sword reward of a bunch of fine alcohol.
Oh, well, if you want a bit of alcohol, just wait here.
Totally.
And
Well,
we'll
we
fetch
should
something
take-
from our
Hooray!
reserves.
I am A-okay with this.
Go downstairs and return
You are
with
ale, okay?
Damn right.
hail. What do we look like, savages? This is fine elven wine, over 1,000 years old. We found it in one of our old estates a few years ago.
Oh, well now.
She will hand each of you a bottle.
Ooh,
I appreciate this gift deeply.
I'm sure there's only
Thank you.
10 bottles of it left in total, so you have half the store.
Huh. Think I will save this one for congratulations with my wife.
You should. And yes, if my husband didn't mention as much, Ursula, I do wish you the best of luck retrieving your son. If there's any way we can be of assistance, do let us know.
I don't suppose you have a magic soul capturing spear, do you?
I have... She
Oh,
thinks
wait.
for a moment.
Could we borrow that ring?
Which ring? Sorry.
The one that the one that we gave you when we came back from Heartland. Yeah, from the map. The
Oh.
lizard prince had it.
Sure. Yes, I believe I have that somewhere around here. I believe I
It'd
gave
be
it to
funny.
Elra. Yeah, let me pop that item hand out. Make sure you guys still have access to it. Ring of Bound Souls, isn't it? Yeah. Boop.
Does the one who does the killing blow have to have the ring?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
It'd be funny though if it did. If whoever did kill him did have the ring on. We need a really nice gemstone now.
No,
We
That's a
actually
nice
we
one.
need.
It needs to be at least 100 gold.
Oh, no. I just mean it should be an ugly one, like one of those really mossy stones with the flecks in it.
So,
Hey, I like
just-
those.
just saying, out of character here, we did get 8 scrolls of Solidify Essence with attached gemstones already made.
Ah,
Yeah, but this is cooler, though.
That and if anyone's going to be quite difficult to keep in a soul stone that we might want to use the specialist ring for, it'd probably be a demigod.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would hate for one of their goons to then suddenly just be like, and counter spell! And set him free again. That would be really irksome.
That would be kind of incredible.
So yeah, well, let's use the ring for this particular fuckface.
Given what you guys know about Dehag, I think Ares going to give that one to Tarnavak, since he has the big magic pokey.
Yep.
A
Don't.
little less.
Oh, that's right, you
pokey
don't
now.
have the
Pokey
magic
now.
pokey anymore. Well, yeah, it's not magic at all anymore, it's just masterwork. And she hands it to you, though, because she's so used to you carrying the fucking magic spear. Here you go.
That is why I asked, lady. We discovered his weakness weeks after I had already moved the enchantment from my blade. Well, the enchantment from the spear to my new sword. At present, we are quite lacking in magical spears.
Does it have to be a
Say.
spear, or can it be any piercing weapon, say an
It's just-
S-talk or dagger?
Just holds out javelins.
We have to stab him in the heart.
Then yes, anything piercing should do.
And if I push really fucking hard, I will gesture at the starward staff. This has a nice big gem on the top. I could probably ram through his fucking torso.
That too was more my
I
plan.
have- I have.
I'm gonna Kali Ma him with a blunt object. You use a spoon on the god because it hurts more.
She will
Hey.
think a moment, then just walk over to Szooth and boop your snoot. Isn't that a magic dagger on your belt, little kobold?
I have another means of which I think to pierce. Besides, this dagger does have a dark energy about it. It's made me hesitant to use it at all.
Fair enough. Well, I know of at least one magic S-talk within easy reach. Can you hold here a couple of hours? I can see if I can shake it loose for you.
Well, I got javelins.
would that happen
Are
to
they
be
magic?
the magic S?
We want magic.
Would that
I
happen to
know.
be the magic X stock I was supposed to get way back when?
Oh, hey, you remember that exists.
That said, I mean, Mori also, God Sword. It's a magic +1 S-Stock when used as a spell focus. Increases the accuracy of melee and spell by 1 as well.
Yeah, Maury sure as shit ain't here to fucking rumble that.
She's not here to do it, but I will mention that we definitely have access to some very magic piercing.
To be fair, I turn bacon and shade to a glaive. That counts as piercing, right?
It's a glaive pierce. That's good.
Not
Oh,
normally,
glaive
no.
or slash.
No.
Yeah. You would need a pike or spear of a piercing polearms. The others
Yeah,
are
glaive or
bludgeon or slash. Although, speaking realistically, you can stab with a whole lot of weapons that are technically slashing. It's just, that would
Yeah.
probably require us pinning him down to line it up, because that's
I mean,
You know
if we
how
can pin
D&D
him
works.
down, I'll totally beat the hammer for a nail that goes into his heart. That'd be pretty cool. Could nail him to a wall or the floor.
That would be pretty cool.
Brutal. Also, I lied. The weapon I was thinking of was a longsword. Well,
Oh.
Alright, it's
Oh.
fine.
Well,
Morgan's blade is an S-Stock and it is magic.
I mean, to be fair, my golem can use a longsword.
Longsword
wouldn't
is
be-
It's
slashing.
not piercing.
Oh, yeah,
Short sword
right.
is
It would-
piercing.
God damn it.
I will say this: I have, if we need to keep him, I just had the fucking barbed ass chain that I have, master with silver. It will pierce, and it will keep him. That's slitting away, the son of a bitch.
Well, you seem to have plenty of options at your disposal. Oh wait, no, she does
Yeah,
know of a
don't worry.
magic piercing weapon. She could probably get you.
No.
Yeah. If you want, that is, Ari will say. I know of a, well, not a good friend, in fact a former enemy, but given the circumstances, I think the good Knight Lord Sir Marcus might be willing to part with his dragon-slaying pike for a bit.
It does sound like an option.
No,
Give me a
That
second.
might take a few days to track down, though.
no,
And
no. Sadly, we don't have that.
that would, as Ursula says, be too long, and none of us are greatly adept at fighting with a pike.
Well, it would take too long, but
Nor
Wouldn't say that.
entirely endeared with the dragon slaying aspect of a dragon slaying weapon.
yeah, that
Cry
is
me
a
a
point
river,
of question.
Nahia.
I
You're
shall
going
wink.
to have... You're going to have to face down an evil dragon eventually in your career.
I mean, we've done that like 3 times. We're actually unsettlingly good at it.
If anything, a dragon slaying spear just means to be good at killing a god too.
Eh.
Now that's how you get yourself smote. But very well. If I can be of no material assistance further, then I will simply wish you luck.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
understand it takes too much time, but if it really is necessary, Szooth's mech. I was gonna say golem. Can use a pike. Can use it very well, actually.
You can use the dagger very well as well. It's still stuck to you.
And
Yeah.
again, I repeat, Mari's got a
Yeah.
got a magic rapier and is a god. We should be okay.
Cass also has a magic rapier.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, you do.
having more of the damage the bosses weak to is never a bad thing.
Good job.
It's true.
There is one little matter before we depart. Might I beg use of your scrying mirror?
Of course. It's just upstairs in the armory. You know your way around.
Thank you.
Harry will get out of your way and go take a seat with Augie. And you can pop up to Asher's workshop. On your way past, you find Rahit sitting by the fireplace, whence the little elemental. He'll give you a little up nod.
Just looks at how he's sleeping on that. Because of that should probably get him to bed. It's actually gonna be bad for his back if he sleeps like that.
Well, he'll wake up if I cast teleport.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I
It
can take
just
care of my
makes the motion.
husband.
Yeah, Ursula, when she said that cast teleporting, Ursula just makes the motion of like lifting with your arms.
So, Tarn, what you gonna ask Mr. Mirror?
Since estate is currently warded, let's just get questions done for things nearby. So for now, mirror, mirror, we need the knowledge you bring. Where can we find the regenerative ring?
Good, that's good. All right, let me hop you over to another map. Boop. The mirror zooms out from the Magister's Tower and scrawls well across the Erythian Sea, past Ehrenberg, where the Iron Vein estate is, and further up the old trade road to a mountain range, where the road eventually ends around here. And you see what might be an old dwarf keep nestled up in the mountains on a path. Leads down to a fairly large lake. There's a swamp and forest all around it. The mirror's vision goes north and north and north until you see the ruins of a town nestled up near the fork in a river.
Would you mind if I make a little note on there that that's where Ring of Regen is?
Sure, go for it.
Thank you.
So as you get a look at this town, the point of view doesn't go any further in, but you can see that this whole city is encased in ice. And it's well and truly spring now, the middle of March. It's unlikely this is any sort of fresh fallen natural snow, not in the volume it would take to completely whiten a city. And indeed, the largest of the structures are literally encased in ice, glistening blue and white in the sun, unmelting.
Well, that's slightly ominous.
I'm glad I come with inbuilt central heating.
Yeah, everyone hug Nahia real tight.
Actually, since I'm part Red Dragon now, am I unusually warm?
You are much warmer than you were before, yes. You do not have an open flame on your body all the time, but yes, like 2 or 3 people could definitely hug to you as well.
Szooth is from the island, like the almost snowbound frozen island. He's not used to cold. He's just used to suffering. He's a Russian.
Really ease your heart.
Fantastic. Yeah, Szooth would probably have like just natural advantage against cold, but then probably disadvantage from being tiny and made of scales. So womp womp.
It balances out.
So yeah, just for everyone's recollections, Stormvale is located up the road from this way, which incidentally is the sword grave where Hashat's sword is from is nearby, and just off the map is where Hashat's little home village is, and Ursula's too, I believe. So maybe you could go say hi to Hashat's mom and dad and go throw stones at nasty witch-burning peasants in Ursula's village.
Sounds like a real party. Fun for the whole family.
I did have a second question for
All right.
Mirror.
Sure.
Mirror, mirror, your truth is bright. Where dwell the daughters of the Queen White?
Ah. All right. So, once again, the mirror zooms out from this icy city, and we'll go over here. First towards a large ring of standing stones. I can talk. Then deeper into the woods, and then up towards what looks like a tower, or once was a tower, or half of a structure jutting up out of the tilled dirt here. And it seems like there's a farm at the base of this ruined structure now. You can see a single catfolk and a very weary moth, or rather, words. A very scruffy donkey is pulling a rusty plow through the earth.
Alright. I will be honest, when I saw it was there was an area named the White Marsh, I sort of figured, yes, there will be one in there.
It's a logical assumption.
It's nice to have it confirmed.
And yeah, that is also where Mama White got her head chopped off by Lord Winter at some point in the past. Tarn, while you're looking at the mirror, would you make me a perception check real quick?
Sure.
Nice.
Unless Marek was assisting, I don't think I notice.
In this case, I think actually he could assist, since it's just you noticing something at random, little visual
Then-
feedback.
I guess I'll roll the extra d6.
Yes.
31!
Nice. All right. So, unfortunately, there's only a limited amount of information you can gather from what you experience, but as the mirror is looking at these three locations, there's a momentary ripple on the surface, as if a stone has been tossed into water, and for the briefest moment, you are sure, beyond surety, that you see a pair of eyes staring back at you. And then the vision fades, and the mirror goes blank.
Just seems like they're going to be ready for us.
They probably would have been anyway by the time we bumblefucked our way there, without knowing what specific locations.
A fair point.
Yeah. Those were the only two rhymes that were just burning in my head.
Alrighty. By the time you look up from the mirror, Asker's come over and is, I would say, peering over your shoulder, but she's much smaller than you, so she's kind of looking around you. Well, that's ominous.
And you saw the eyes as well, then?
The eyes? Oh, I was thinking about the poor catfolk and his plow.
Oh.
Wait, what are we talking about now?
If you're looking for whites and you just see a farmer, that's not right. Something's weird. What eyes?
These are the arcane daughters of an unusually powerful white. One that reigned terror almost 1,000 years ago. If any sort of undead can just decide, I want a human pet, it would be one of those. And the eyes... just... was like someone was looking back at me out of the mirror.
Okay, yeah, that's more ominous. Seems you're done asking questions. Asher's just gonna take like one of the big oilcloths from the weapon racks and throw it over the mirror. No more of that.
I hope if what was looking decides to have any objection, that takes them just with me.
I don't know. It's between ambushing you out in the field or attacking a tower full of... She gestures wordlessly downstairs. I kind of want to see him try the tower.
That evil mother of theirs almost killed him 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but he
By
was alone.
herself.
Now he's got the whole family here.
Yes, but so was she. If they come all three at once, and
Raheem's also here.
and I would think our party has better odds.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I bet I could take an ancient white. Asher will flex a noodle arm.
Well, you know, there is something to be said for confidence.
Confidence and hurling explosives from a high window.
I wouldn't be able to relate to any of those experiences.
Really?
Oh no. I haven't gotten to hurl fireballs.
Not fireballs, but actual explosives. How have we never given you a giant tub of alchemist's fire, Szooth?
I just don't think it's ever happened.
Ashker is just gonna reach into a drawer in her desk and take out a little wooden box and hand it to you, Szooth. Here.
Frankly, I thought you were all just trying to be concerned. What's the word I'm looking for? I thought you were all just trying to be very progressive, not doing away with kobold stereotypes and alchemist fire.
Technically, this is alchemist acid, but you know.
It's like diet alchemist fire.
Sure, yeah, just without the stereotyping. She'll pat you on
All
the
the
head.
burns, none of the calorie burning.
Also, none of the smell of burning meat.
Actually, that still stays. I was mostly just joking around, but acid still does as much damage as fire.
Oh.
It's not pretty either way. That's why we stopped using it in our traps.
Well, I'm gonna stop making this stuff now. Good luck out there, guys.
Thank you.
I'll give her a nod goodbye and back downstairs to the teleport circle.
It seems we head into violence.
Not... Well, yes, probably. Almost certainly. But, those matters of the mirror are a concern for afterwards.
where are you guys going to end up teleporting to?
Narame.
Do we know a teleport circle in Narame?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
During downtime, I picked up a whole whack load of them.
I'm pretty sure
paid out
you learned that they were still making the circle there and they hadn't finished yet.
Is it not complete?
Circle's always complete. Like the moment they start, the moment they make it, it's just permanency that they haven't finished.
No. No, it goes away after 1 minute. Like you need it. You need to do the year-long permanency casting to make it a receiver as well.
I always thought that during the process of that year, it was still functional as a send receiver. It's just that obviously, if you stopped doing the permanency, it would cease.
No.
Fair enough. Far enough.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
I'll
yeah.
write that down as not finished.
It might be done yet, but you don't know for sure. Either way, I don't think the code. Let me go look at the spell real quick. See if you determine the code before or at the end of. Okay, yeah. So you don't have the code for the place because the circle wasn't done when you learned about it.
Yeah.
So either way, you would either need to like do a sending with someone in Narame, or else just go to the Sage's Tower and arrive up there.
We'll have to go to that Sage Tower, or I could scry. No, that wouldn't work. Probably wouldn't work. Almost certainly wouldn't work. I suppose we'll have to go to our Sage's Tower then and just hoof it, just like book it.
Yes. We also sort of have to go there if we want to pick the companion train back up.
I just sort of assumed you picked them up before you left, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, me
fair deal.
too.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that we teleported to Winter's Tower, so we couldn't bring Morrigan, right?
Oh yeah,
She
no,
would've
Morgan is
refused.
definitely
Yeah.
still in Anders Bay. Though she could also just discorporate and get resummoned, so you know, whatever. She's a little bit more flexible now.
That is good.
Am I?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that being said, are you happy with your companion selection as is?
Let's see.
It kind of makes me sad that Mara uses up a companion slot since she locks down one of my my only ever 6th level spell.
I mean, only the day you cast it, you get it back.
No.
Oh.
That's not how Warlocks work, Savin. They
Warlock
only
their
know...
one big 6th level spell ever, and that's the only one they can cast.
Ah, yes, you're right. Sorry, my apologies. Sorry, you get the spell slot you used to cast that back though.
No, it's not a
it
spell
can't be
slot.
used.
Right, no,
That's-
you do use a spell slot when you cast the 6th level spell.
No,
No, you don't.
no, you don't.
Really?
The 6th level spell slot is its own 6th level spell slot that cannot be used for the other Warlock spells.
It's more like a spell-like ability than a spell slot.
I've always thought that used up one of your 3 per encounters. Huh.
Nope.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm just totally wrong.
Yeah, it is just a... The Warlock 6+ slots are completely different. So Morrigan using one of them up has sort of permanently crippled Nahia.
You know,
I'm willing to accept it, but it's
I
a
could
moderate
learn to
action.
summon Morrigan, I suppose.
I think she would rather die.
I don't think that.
No, we're on good terms now. It's fine.
You just can summon her whenever.
I mean, she can refuse the summons, but
Okay.
yeah, I do not think Mori's going to teach that spell to Hashat. It's her special buddy time with Nahia.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, it is a very expensive buddy time.
Could you summon demigods? An aspect of a demigod with that spell?
I mean, technically, you can summon an aspect of a god with the spell. Celadri
this is
kicked
the
around
aspect.
with Kanara, and fucking Skeza had Kalira for quite a while.
I need to think on this.
Need to figure out how to get some aspect following you around.
Well, I picked up scrying specifically so I could scry for Baleria, and maybe I could try and summon an aspect of an avatar of Baleria. My my 100 times great granny. Balearia?
Balearia.
Balearia.
Not to be confused with Valeria, your head-mounted cow.
I was saying the bee. It just might not have come across very well.
It did not at all.
Oh. I was definitely saying bee on my side, but okay.
Sure. Anyway, your roster look good?
Who are our current active ones?
Cass, Tassie, Siggy, and Mori are traveling with you. You can kind of pick whoever you want once you get to Ehrenberg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good with me.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Yeah, you guys can teleport back to the Sage's Tower. The cookies are no longer quite so warm, but you're given hugs again, nonetheless. Pick up Szooth's cart again from the tower.
Oh, I left that here.
Yeah, you guys are free to press on. We'll need some travel rolls to get all the way up to Ehrenberg.
Do we maybe want to do it in 2 stages? Like, travel up to Narame and then from Narame to Ehrenberg?
Up to you.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That was indeed Savin why I was asking everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, yeah. Going between major locations.
All right.
Go ahead and roll your travel checks. It's been a long-ass time since we did one of those. But there are enough companions to give everyone advantage if need be.
All right. Stealth roll, let's go.
For scouting, yeah. Hang on a second. What class are you now?
I mean, I am still... Szooth is still a monk. His mech is the fighter barbarian. Currently, he's not in it. So...
How does that work?
Basically, when he chooses to... Like, every short rest, he gets to choose between whether he's being a monk or a fighter barbarian.
Huh.
This was actually discussed in quite some detail at the time of DCL deciding he wanted to do it.
Okay, well,
But yes.
This fighter Barbarian is disgusting, by the way.
yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure it is the Munchkinest.
Alright, so that was stealth, so scouting. Provisioner, I believe, is usually Ursula with survival. Yep. The guys are doing
Yeah.
real fucking good on your dice rolls today.
What's the other one again?
Navigator, which is Nahia.
26.
Nice. Okay.
Excellent.
Let's see. Duration reduced by 25%. Everyone ignores exhaustion, but you guys don't get hit in the encounter, so you're good there. And ignore any speed penalties for difficult terrain, which you won't see on this journey. That would have been on the next stage. So, indeed, for the next several days, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4 days or so, you guys get to travel on your horses and carts in relative peace and quiet. Till you arrive at Nerame. Fish that map out right quick.
Sounds like 2 days to Nerame.
Nerame.
Say again, Hedrah? You broke
Sorry,
up there.
so it's about 2 days to Nerame.
I think there are too many of us for your Barbarian feature to apply.
There are, in fact, one too many of you.
I guess it's a good thing Morgan can discorporate.
I guess that's true. You could just yeet Morgan out of existence while you travel, and then it doesn't matter.
Aw.
That feels like a dick move, but at the same time, this is
Considering
a
the
situation where we
circumstances.
do just need to be going fast.
Considering the circumstances, Morgan will not hold a grudge over this, and she will poof out at the tower, let you guys go mega fast. So yeah, 2 days then. We'll arrive at the City of Elves. Tassiel give a great big sigh. Well, I was gonna say home sweet home, but, well, I found a new one. It's nice to be back, though.
Yeah. Shame we can't stay for a little while.
Yeah. Did the rest of you hear about that demon thing?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I did indeed.
Yeah, Master Starshaper wrote and said that Sir Suhail drove out some horrible succubus that had been kidnapping people.
Really?
Oh, please. She was only temporarily kidnapping people. I have heard.
Cassie squints.
Shifty eyes.
Go on, roll that deception.
Just gonna use a hit dice for charlatan. Dope.
Shit.
Owned.
Okay, so maybe I'm friends with the demon. How is that even remotely a surprise to you?
It's not, except for this demon was kidnapping people.
Are you
No.
sure she actually was?
Last I spoke to her, in fact, she preferred under the radar, and almost certainly ran afoul of someone with a less than salacious, marriage situation, and then it's very easy to blame a demon. Oh no, the demon made me be dishonest. The demon took me away. It certainly wasn't that she knew how to suck a dick.
Uh-huh. Have you ever considered that not all demons are actually nice, Nahia?
This one actually was. She made our engagement ring for free just because she really appreciated the gesture.
Oh. Okay, but on principle, not all demons are nice. You recognize
No,
that,
on
right?
principle, no. But this one actually, we had a pretty good working relationship out of, and
I mean-
we got her out of a bind, and in return as well, she did us a couple solids.
To be fair, we do like to go into situations assuming that whoever we're meeting has the best of intentions in heart, until proven otherwise.
I wonder what
Yep.
kind of a demon she actually was.
It usually seems to work out
Succubus.
rather well for us.
Actually,
Yeah.
wait, no, she might actually have been a demon centric to the arts. It's hard to say. I don't remember how it works.
Is that the voice of experience, Cass?
Probably.
Huh? Not saying no, but
I mean, there are times I think Cass might be a succubus. Or is it an incubus?
it's
And
an
both.
incubus, thank you.
The manliest
I-
voice spelled
don't-
B-O-I.
I don't know. You do a pretty good suck, so.
Wait,
Stop.
what's the word again? That's the word again. Speaking of like incubus like this, are there a bunch of fucking elder women just throwing themselves towards Szooth? You know, like that fucking Kona Barbarian, the fucking woman just up towards clinging to his leg like that. Because of the last time he was here, he literally destroyed their concept of having sex with anything other than the fucking sex god himself.
Oh, right. We had a party here.
Yeah, you guys
didn't we?
party the fuck out.
Yeah.
But no,
I don't remember that
when-
party.
When you arrive, the town seems relatively quiet. There's a couple guards standing outside who will give you the familiar up nod and let you pass without trouble. And, yeah, one of them will reach down and rub Szooth's snoot, but beyond that,
I
you're
passed.
unmolested.
I pass him a bag and go,
Sorry the order took so long.
She just slides a little silver down your scarf.
all right, we in town.
Do we have anything we need to do here, or should we just pass on through?
Well, the town is quiet. Why?
It's because it's
Usually it's more lively.
I mean,
Is
it's the new spring. I imagine they're all getting on with their lives as opposed to celebrating some grand new change.
Were you asking the guards that, or just the party in general?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll ask the guards. Hey, is everything everything good in town? Any news?
The guard will hurriedly tuck her fresh joint behind an ear. Yes, everything's okay now, but Sir Suhail has recommended people stay in their homes. The demon that attacked the town was not killed, just driven off, and now there's elementals out in the woods near the old volcano, apparently.
Oh, not again. The elemental volcano.
Shrugs.
We dealt with them once.
Yeah, we'll handle that.
Well, the town would be in your debt for sure. We've all been pretty worried since we found demons in our midst.
Will
is
we
the way of things
handle
sometimes.
that? I am loath to refuse help. I'm loath to refuse to give help, but we do have a time limit.
Bah. We can handle the demon matter as we go, though. I wouldn't worry about them anymore. But elementals may take some time getting to.
The only time limit we have is to get to Ehrenberg. After that, we have more time to do things.
So just to refresh some memories, since you've been to this volcano many, many moons ago,
Yeah, it's like our first adventure.
it's over here. And yeah, so it is a bit out of the way, but not horribly. Probably take you a day to get there and back if you wanted.
I say we deal with it on the way back down.
But given, remember we agreed to bring Radomir back to his daughter, so we probably want to be teleporting from Ehrenberg.
Oh. Back to where? Avara, I guess?
Yeah.
Right.
And although I guess we could just bring him trussed up with us. We do actually have enough companions to just keep hold of him. It depends how urgent the elemental situation is. So let's
maybe ask about it from the Surhail and the Archmage.
So yeah, I will actually ask the gods. What sort of elemental trouble is occurring? How many are coming from the mountains?
It's hard to say. They're big fire spirits, though. At least as large as a man, some even bigger, ogre-sized or so. They attacked the outlying farms, but luckily most of them had been abandoned already. Their residents had been kidnapped and dragged off to some unknown fate. We assume the demon responsible sucked them off to death. Now their homesteads are
that
being
happen?
destroyed. Over winter, a few disappeared in the fall, but
Can you bring up the map again?
okay.
It's a bit far from the forest.
Yeah, so they'll tell you that basically all the farms between here and Luvarn, either the residents were kidnapped and their farms abandoned, or were forced to flee into Luvarn for safety, and now elementals are burying the road. They'll mention that ostensibly some knights occult from Anderland are supposed to be coming up here to deal with them, but yeah, that's in an eventually.
I'm assuming they're like it's a volcano. It's the volcano. I'm assuming they're fiery elementals, right?
Yes. Indeed, once they describe the spirits to you, you can all probably recognize them as Khors or Firegeists, the same sorts of creatures you fought near Kadar.
Oh. You know, up in that forest, there's a very powerful fae that likes to go out during the winter. That might be what happened over the winter season.
They shrug. One of them will say, "Well, we've never had any problems with Fae before. I mean, where
Apparently,
else? They don't
her
mess with
domain
us."
expands when the winter comes, and it retracts again in the summer.
Well, sure, but still, the road's been there for decades. Farms have been there for generations. It's never happened before.
But the first tide of elementals from a volcano, when we put paid to that, it was something that needed to be removed from a volcano and given into the care of the gods. That might have put a buffer between you and the Fae. Some powerful enough flame magic and her winter spirit that gone now, she might feel she can expand this way as well, where previously she could not.
Possibly.
Guards will shrug again. Don't know. Maybe, but either way, it's kind of suspicious that a bunch of people disappeared and then someone who just moved into town turns out to be a demon. And then as soon as we banish the demon, a bunch of elementals attack the abandoned farms.
Someone who just moved in?
Yeah, the jewel crafter. I'll gesture towards Mastrian's old shop. He just moved into the town a bit ago. And turns out it was a demon all along. Bitch.
I thought she had...
No, you guys met her in Dominotha. She'd been trapped down there for a while.
Oh, yeah. Right. Sorry. Bleh. It's been a bit.
Oh yeah, no, it's minor details of minor characters. I understand.
It may well be the demon, but there are other possibilities to consider. Much has changed this past year.
Ain't that the truth? And if you want to talk Fae and demons and elementals, you should probably just bring it up with Master Starshaper. All we know is just to protect the town.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to talk to him.
Thank you.
Guards will nod and once again kind of step out of the way and go back to smoking. They clearly need a little distraction.
If they are smoking a weed, I will direct Savins to the voice chat. Or at least for DCL.
Fuck. Okay, anyway.
I forgot about that comic.
What do?
I just found. Yeah, we need to go to Starshaper and have a word with that.
Yeah, talk to Starshaper about the elementals and what's been going on?
Sure. You can find him much as you left him. Indeed, every time you visit the town, he is much as you left him, tending to his little sapling starwood tree. Sir Suhail is in the structure as well, a few paces off, laying hands on the trunk. Tassie will go give her former mentor a big hug. Wizard will turn to greet you all. If it isn't my favorite friends. I'll give each of you a firm handshake. I'm sure you'll be
Good to
glad
see
to
you
know that
again.
the starwood tree is growing wonderfully.
Good to hear.
An ASMR paladin really does lend a certain divine spark to its growth.
Indeed.
We'll have
And
to have
here,
some better food
I
today.
suspect he would be interested in seeing this, and I shall snap the staff into being.
Oh my, what's this now?
A splinter of her very being.
You'll take up the staff and give it a look over. Ah, a relic of the old times. Perhaps one of this very one's ancestors. Would that I could trace back where it had once grown, but alas. Still, I don't suppose you'd be willing to part with it for a little lucre, would you? Quite a badge of office that would be.
In the future, when I have completed uh, my task.
Huh. Well, that's a
Uh,
more promising answer than I'd expected. I will certainly take you up on that if and when you are willing to part with it.
I intend to craft a blade in the Morrigan's honor, and after that point, it would be a terrible shame for it to waste away in my bags.
That it would.
Oh. Wait. If this is the same material as a tree, but it's like its old parents, is it? Can there like makes a finger motion? Can it like create a magic bond with it? So that I don't know, the staff becomes like alive, or
Say,
Sorry, Ever just kind of squints at you, confused for a moment. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I doubt that staff's made from this tree's direct descent or predecessors. Suppose it's possible. But it would probably not be wise to bind carved starwood to a living tree. I've heard, not that I would know from experience, starwood being rare as it is, that such things do create a sort of feedback loop and can be good for one of the two, but it's not possible to decide or determine which ahead of time. You might make your staff very powerful and kill my sapling, and I'm not willing to take that risk with the only one we have.
no, that's bad.
Yes, bad indeed.
Wait, did you have like many like trees?
Once upon a time, yes, there was a starwood tree in every major elven city. Now there's the one.
I have a question.
but
Why
it
only in
won't
the
always be
cities?
that way.
Because it takes a great deal of effort to maintain a starwood tree. They don't grow naturally. They're a gift from the gods, so the legend goes. You need a arcane, divine, and primal spellcaster to nurture it each day. At least while it's a sapling. Once it's an adult, you can go down to a once a week or so. Oh, I find that to be rather cruel in ideation. It, like starving the poor thing.
It might well be that the land used to have enough natural magic to support such a thing, but unlikely these days.
Perhaps. Or
Yeah,
perhaps they
okay.
really are just a gift from the gods. The Senatrea's favorite little shrubs.
Oh, that is an adorable name for them.
Well, I'll have to keep that in
Well,
mind then.
at least they maybe they can't like uh, cross pollinate other trees, right?
No, no, unfortunately not. Luckily, we have the. We'll search for a word for a moment. We know the technique to clone the tree once it comes of age, but it will be some time yet before it reaches reproductive size. After a moment's silence, he will explain. My clone, I mean, we will breed the tree with itself to make more tiny trees.
Aye, but
Wait, you're gonna have the tree fuck itself?
Yes, basically. It's not ideal, but unfortunately there's no other starwood trees to try and propagate it with.
how long do you estimate?
Well, this is a sapling of just a few years. In ideal circumstances, 25 is when they start being able to reproduce. If it's underfed, it could be up to 100 years, but thanks to Sir Suhail, I think we'll be on the lower spectrum.
And while he's been talking, Hashat been pumping it like goddamn
Hey,
heavy
if
shit.
you finish that teleportation circle, I'll pop over sometime from time to time to juice it up.
Ah, yes, the other expenditure of my power. The circle should be done in perhaps a week or two, I think. I've been working on it all year. Be amazed how expensive the damn things are.
Not amazed at all. I've got to invest in one myself.
My condolences to your pocketbook.
I'll have to build one in Igniferis myself.
Good, we shall all exchange codes once our circles are completed.
Of course.
I'll have to come over for Scrabble night.
That would be lovely. Ours is being built in the VSM Manor. It's got a lovely open space in the ballroom that we found to be ideal. Well, I don't suppose you're staying for a bit, perhaps long enough for me to finish the work and actually write the code in.
Only the night, I'm afraid.
Would you be willing to put a sending out to us with it? It might save us a lot of time in the future.
Unfortunately, sendings are verbal communications, and teleportation circles are runic combinations that I don't think I can truly voice. I could send you a
shame.
letter, though.
You
still living at the, what was it, the Magister's Tower in Avara?
Temporarily, yes, and I suppose you would want them to have a code anyway.
Yes, of course. Magisters ought to stick together after all. Perhaps they can come over for Scrabble night. I hear the Magister's husband is quite the clever fellow. Or at least has a clever tongue to him.
Yes, it's been known to be a bit of a pain in the ass from time to time too, but all in all.
Well, his wife doesn't complain.
No, of course. Nor does he complain about his wife.
Well, I'm sure we'll get along famously.
Oh no, it's gonna be real weird if these dudes play wife swap. I
No,
hope
it's
you're
not
holding onto
all
your
the playing.
pocketbooks. This is about to get a little bit unsettling.
What's the word again? It's like, oh, I'm playing Scrabbles with the Elven Antichrist. Oh God.
7-letter word for massacre.
God.
God, the amount of trolling that could be done, though.
I feel like we need to protect him from that degree of shit posting.
Indeed.
Well, if we're going to spend the night, I could just pump everything I have into the tree, I guess, while I'm here.
No, please don't pump everything you have into a tree.
Oh, would that be bad? Would that be too
It's
much?
Well, I think Tassie and Cass would like you to have some left over.
Oh, I see.
Cassie just giggle behind you.
Wait a second.
What?
Would that kind of power? Wouldn't that kind of power be very benefit for it?
Oh, I mean, the last time we were here and I put a big fat spell, bunch of magic in it, its roots grew a whole lot.
No. Not the casted. It just makes towards the crotch motion. You know, like the V motion. That. Because it's guaranteed. Wouldn't that actually be a good thing?
I don't.
I don't know how the magic thing, but if I remember, it's like the Earth always was, like you said, always be magical, super fertile, stuff like that. If you could put that down into it.
I'm not gonna jack off on the tree.
No, but the magic. That's I don't know how it works. It just makes fucking Will Smith presents the fucking orphanage here. Like, you guys are magic people. You figure that stuff out. I whack things.
Are you familiar with the magics that Hashat has, Lord Starshaper?
Yes, I've seen Hashat's magic at work on the tree itself, too. Remarkable, but probably would not bear repeating, or rather, the effects would be much reduced.
She has gained new.
Please do not jerk off onto my
gifts.
tree. No.
Yeah, that's actually magical as well, apparently, now.
He just throws his hands up, shakes his head. No, do not sully the holy tree, please.
You never know, tree might enjoy it.
The tree is a
That's
juvenile.
accepted.
Please do not molest the tree.
Actually, that's a good point. Actually, yes, that tree is underage.
I have to wait until the tree is a mature adult.
This is true. The tree has to be able to consent. Actually, I bet the Star Tree Dryad is beautiful.
Probably.
I heard there used to be one, only one, a queen of the Dryads. I don't know what happened to her, though, if she ever existed. Somewhere up in the Wailing Woods now, I imagine.
We'll keep an eye out. Let her know if they don't.
Well, if Halavos and Grandtree haven't found her, I have to assume that she's simply been slain by Lord Winter or one of his fellows, or some horrible monster in the intervening years.
Aw.
Wait,
Oh.
I have a wait. That doesn't make sense. Just because some people haven't found them doesn't mean they're not out there. We found
That
a
is true.
god.
Present Mari. You should live in hope. Goodness knows we've proven capable of some strange things before.
I suppose it's just, well, starwood trees are rather obvious, and we've scryed all over the planet for one, and this little sapling is the only one that we've ever been able to find.
And yet, dryads tend to be. Its acorn, even for a starwood, would not actually be of relatively
Nahia?
insignificant. All right.
Hello?
Hello.
What?
Did Scout completely
cut
break
out.
up for anyone else?
Yeah, I was like, just.
Oh, no, I haven't done or changed anything, and then I turned my mic on and off just to be sure. Hello?
Yeah.
You're being quite roboty right now, actually.
I can hear
Is
Scout
she?
just fine.
Yeah, I hear her well, but she just stopped talking, and then I heard a neck crack, and then
Yeah, I
just
also
the
heard the
rest.
neck crack and then like a second of silence.
No, it was just me like toggling mute because suddenly there was no talk, and I was like, "Oh shit! Was I speaking that like a large portion with mute toggled on or something?" And I wasn't, and then I got confused.
No, Discord just stole some of your words and then
Okay.
briefly
Yeah.
some of your fidelity.
Fair enough. I was just saying that like all the dryads that I know and have met have come originally from just small acorns. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if a starwood dryad were not very much the same.
Well, I suppose that's possible. Indeed, there could be an acorn hidden away somewhere. I hear somewhere up in the north there was a whole dragon egg preserved. Perhaps a red dragon? No, that's not right. I think it might have even been a royal gold or some such. Either way, it's preserved and then redeemed by one of those hobgoblin bastards. He glanced at Tarn. Not you. Oh, actually. I'll squint at you. Tarn, you're wearing the hat of disguise, right? I just
Yes.
assume that's your passive. Yeah, Starshaper looks at you for a long moment, squints his eyes. You look a bit different.
Yeah. Well, it is a little surprise an archmage can see or can recognize an illusion. Just give a little shrug and let the disguise break away. But this comes from one of Sinatrea's relics, the crown of Azira that I was briefly given the honor of possessing.
Marvelous. Truly marvelous. But my hobgoblin bastards, I not intentionally meant you, Tarnavak. I meant the dragons that your former emperor had bred by some poor salamanders. Although now you look much the part of a half-breed thereby yourself.
His state of being, of course, legally sanctioned by a dragon goddess. I think he gets away with it.
Well, if not, she has yet to tell me.
Sinatrea is, though returned to the world, still the most private of the gods. Barely even has a clergy yet. Strange behavior for the queen of the pantheon, but as a mage and her being goddess of magic, I suppose I shouldn't complain over much, lest I feel my power being sapped away.
Well, if you're a powerful mage. Wait. How many powerful mages are very social?
I take deep offense to that remark. I'm very social.
It
Uh,
does
you're
depend on how
fine.
they had a very firecracker youth, though, and snorted fat lines of blue lightning.
I believe, Lord Starshaper, you were being listed there as the rare one that is particularly social.
That's an unfair
Nah.
stereotype. Most mages I know are perfectly social. They just have a great deal of work to do. Also,
Yeah,
speaking of fat blue
right.
lines, come here.
Well,
Grab Nahia by the ear and crank your jaw open.
I will sigh and reveal that they're probably still like a little bit blue.
Yeah, it's definitely some blue in there. You know that shit will kill you, right?
Take into account the kinds of adventures we have gotten up to historically, and then assume that there was, any other opportunity. It's probably saved our lives for me to get, completely ripped up.
Yes, I'm sure. Just don't get overconfident. Rezidium has a nasty way of getting away from you like that. Not that I know from experience.
No, of course, not.
And even us adventurers do have a budget. And Residium is something that very quickly fills it.
It is
Oh,
an
yeah,
expensive
budget.
habit.
I'm going to take out a coin from my pocket and just toss Starshaper a golden dragon coin. Yeah, our budget.
Huh. Oh, Dragon Empire currency. Well, that's mighty rare.
Come across it a couple of times.
Amazed you've come across it at all. I've only heard of one instance of finding it out in dungeons. The rest of it's locked away in museums. Mostly in the Empire.
Well, it has only been a couple, and one of them was a giantish dungeon.
Giants? What are they doing with Oh, yeah, of course. Bastards. Well, don't go trying to barter this to some poor farmer for turnips. Want to cash these out, get them stored away somewhere where they can be displayed properly. Starshaper will pointedly not return the coin. He's going to tuck that into the pocket of his robe like he just gave him a tip.
Basically, I'm sure.
So, we heard about some elementals and some weird shit happening around.
Ah, yes, of course. The demonic problems we've been having. Once again, I'm glad you sent us Sir Suhail. He was able to pull the demon out of a crowd with his divine senses, and with a bit of my assistance and those of our town guards, we drove the creature away. It proved too powerful to kill outright, but that is the nature of things.
You will have to take my word for it when I say that the matter of that demon has already been dealt with. You need not worry about them anymore.
Ah, good. Good. Well, I will take your word for it, ironclad as it is. Unfortunately, the elementals are still pouring out unless sometime between this morning and now you've gone and dealt with it.
No,
No.
I'm afraid not with the elementals.
Yes, well. Luckily, they haven't attacked the town or any citizens directly. They seem to content themselves with burning down the old farmsteads, the ones that are abandoned after that demon snatched up their denizens.
I'm not entirely convinced that this demon did that. I had an encounter over the winter, which is when I hear these disappearances happen.
Some of them, they're also over the fall, and they likely would have continued into the spring, and Suhail not banished the demon. Coincidentally, she vanished, and the disappearances stopped shortly thereafter.
When. Do you have the exact date of the first of them?
Exact date? No. Unfortunately, we only realized people had gone missing when their friends and neighbors went out to their farmsteads and found them quite abandoned. That would have been, the end of November? No, not quite the end. About mid-November, we noticed the first 2 farms had been missing. By the end of November, it was half a dozen. And by the time winter rolled in earnest, anyone who hadn't been kidnapped had fled into Lavarn.
Then.
Probably is not the fairy then.
It could have been, the other assholes.
It could have been many things, but the times line up with that jewel carver arriving in town. Shortly after the disappearances started, and shortly after she was driven out, they ended. And shortly after she was driven out, coincidentally, the elemental attacks began. Some defense, I'm sure, for her hideout, or else petty vengeance. She does not dare attack us directly.
I do not believe the elementals to be anything related to the demon.
Perhaps. If she is dealt with, then if they continue, I will suppose we must organize another expedition into the volcano to root out the cause.
Oh, that place is so fucking hot.
Oh, I know, isn't it lovely?
Yes, when I say organize an
Well,
expedition, I
you-
mean hire some other adventurers to go deal with it for me. I'm not going in there. Not on your life.
Oh, you seriously should not go in there. That's like
No, I will
molten rock and
combust.
fire.
Babies.
I get to
Well,
sunburn just walking outside.
Oh, that is a good point.
yeah. Yeah, like they would totally toast you.
Perhaps I'll find some nice salamanders that want to go rebuild that ruin you found inside. Make themselves a castle.
I can think of a couple that might be interested, although it's quite a journey away from my island.
We have
And
an
tell you what,
island
once
now. That's nice.
I do have an island now. That's why I'm having a magic circle set up.
I suppose that makes sense.
It is a lovely place. Well, soon to be a lot lovelier. It will feature a lovely cathedral to Mori when it is done.
Wait, that's not the same island where the Leviathan washed up, was it?
It is the very same island. He washed up on my island probably about half a month after it was declared mine, as far as VAR is concerned.
That.
Trust me, that Leviathan, lovely fellow.
Yes,
Oh, I'm
he's super
sure. I'm
nice.
sure. I've heard, well, more read in this case, the stories that it's some sort of giant shark colony.
That is correct. He is his own village and also a god of their worship.
Outstanding. Perhaps when my little Starwood's done with needing my care, I'll go have a word with him. I'm sure we could learn much from one another. He's doubtless seen the rise and fall of empires.
Yes, almost certainly. I will make the gesture as well so he knows it. Clap, clap, spread. That is a typical way to greet Tunankir. Very, very simple, and thankfully very easy for all the shark.
Speaking of words, actually, I don't suppose my letters have arrived yet.
Remind
I
me,
know.
which letters specifically did you send him?
Writing to him about mirror law.
Yeah, he will nod. Ah, yes, of course. I sent for a couple of books from the capital you might find interesting. Unfortunately, the mirrors were carved a bit before my time. I'd hoped Lady Belmaris would know more, but alas, they seem to predate even her expertise, and she's the oldest of us by far. But her ancestors had a few tomes you may find interesting.
Thank you. I did come across some brief references to, I believe, an ancestor of yours.
Salaran, I'm sure. Yeah, that's the one. Always Salaran.
I suppose he did not pass any journals down to you, then.
He didn't pass much of anything on to me aside from my dashing good looks and magical abilities. Some adventurers a while ago uncovered his lab beneath the palace, but unfortunately a great deal of the research material in there had degraded over time or was destroyed in the process. These books in particular, well, one of them anyway, comes from that lab. It doesn't seem as though my ancestor was the one to carve them initially, although he did, I am fairly sure, have some way of reproducing them. Alas, believe you me, if he had written down the means by which to do so, I would be churning them out as fast as I could.
Well, if even if there is not a secret of their creation, if we can find some way to restore them to their former power among his notes, that would be...
Ah, yes. That. I'm not sure you want to do that. If you could, I'll glance over to Shot. Whatever those adventurers did to break the cowgirl curse was one and the same event that shut off the mirror's fullest potential. I do worry that if we were to restore the mirror's corridors, that whatever entity was constraining their minds might yet lurk beyond.
We've made some progress on that. We found the epicenter of the curse.
Oh, good.
And while all the living minotaurs are free of their curse, the spirits down in Dal Manotha are still affected by it.
Well, that's a bit sad. Mindless
Yeah, it is.
spirits. And Dalmanotha, too. The things we could learn from them. One of the few empires to rival the old elves.
Oh, yeah, there's the whole library down there was intact.
Well, near enough to the hole. There was some damage from the ages, but if you speak the tongue, there is much.
You should get in touch with the Duke. He's in the process of organizing an expedition to excavate the great library down in the ruins once things are no longer dangerous.
My. Well, every time I talk to you lot, I grow ever so slightly more embittered that I am responsible for a tree and not out expanding the sum total of elven knowledge. I would send
Well, at the
Tassie
same
off to
time,
tend to this task, but now she is off, happily married. Going to have to train new
Oops.
apprentices now.
I believe that one
Sorry,
would be a
but
case of yeah.
sorry, but
Sorry,
not
not
sorry.
sorry.
Yes, I'm sure.
Tassie.
You're all terribly inconvenient for me, but I suppose saving the town and uncovering the ancient secrets of the past will have to do by way of apology.
And we've entered a lot of volcanoes too. I believe there are portions of the journey to which you would be going, I wish I were back with the tree right about now.
That is what
Oh,
I think
yeah.
every time I take a stroll out of the house in the mid-afternoon. Still, if you ever happen upon a lovely young elf that is in need of an apprenticeship to an archmage, do send them my way. I seem to be running short.
Does it
Sure.
have to be a pureblood elf?
I mean, technically I can train anybody, but I would prefer to keep my knowledge with my own people where possible, unless there's a particularly compelling case to the contrary.
Hmm.
Well,
Never know who
Is
we
one
might
of you looking
find.
to be a wizard?
Oh, goodness, no, I'm much too busy being all sorts of things.
It is rather time-consuming.
but, if I may, very briefly, why are you so certain that the break in the mirrors is tied to the cowgirls? I saw similar. Well, I saw that it occurred at about the same time in my research, but I did not see any compelling proof.
Well, that's quite simple. The sole survivor of the expedition to break the curse told me herself. And the story lines up. I have no reason to doubt her.
You spoke to her.
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose I should say directly to her through one of her agents she was possessing at the time. Rather awkward conversation. The fairy hiding behind a mask, but, well, I'll take what I can get when one communes with a divinity.
Fair enough.
A divinity.
Saren will nod. You haven't put that little bit of evidence together, have you? The one who led the expedition in and its sole survivor was a young kitsune woman by the name of Tyria. She became the goddess of death after defeating whatever monstrosity lurked between the mirrors and breaking the curse. There was a shard of celestial power hidden in there.
Oh, that makes so much sense. No, No, in having spent so long with for Morrigan in our company, I hadn't considered that at all.
Yes, now that Morgan is back, I do wonder how the two of them will interact. I'm surprised there hasn't been some sort of celestial duel to the death for the place. That's none of my business, I suppose.
I'd rather not think about it. I will look at the Morgan.
Mori is just kind of shifty-eyeing behind you. I will need to speak to you at some point about that, but that can wait.
Very well. Goodness me. It does not surprise me, by the way. It's just life. All right, where to next? Any other news that we have forgotten?
No?
Something that may be important for you to know, Lord Starshaper. I hope we can resolve this before it becomes a matter of your concern, but you are familiar with the old giant god of time?
Not in any particular fashion. I was under the impression that deity had either died or given up his divinity long ago. Precious few records of him about.
You are familiar with its existence, at least?
Yes, yes. Yeah. Karnas, god of moons, tides, time. Madness, perhaps, or was that more Talion's bag after his assassination? Hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. The Hobgoblin Empire has made an alliance with one of Karnas's descendants, a Phaethuan demigod.
Oh, good. Good, that's fantastic. Excellent.
I mean to break that alliance on the goblinoid side, but if we fail, it is something that any powerful magister should be aware of. That combination, it could easily see the Empire return to these shores.
Yes, or worse. Rub at his chin a moment. God of time means. Well, no, I don't want to break my brain thinking about that too much, and even if I did, there's precious little I could do about it, but let us all hope for all our sakes that time flows linearly.
At least there are. At least I can say with some confidence, some matters do.
I don't like the vagueness of that, but very well. I'll take small comfort in that. Hopefully the hobgoblins don't simply reverse time to before the war and correct all of their crippling mistakes. Probably someone goes and puts a pillow over Braylid's mouth while he's in his crib.
honestly, if I did that, if that is what they use their ability to reverse time for, then we can thank all of the gods. It would not be a good future, but it would be far from the worst.
I'm going to thank my academic mind that I don't have much of an imagination to think of anything worse than that. Think for a
I
moment,
mean,
shudder.
consider Braylord becoming emperor and then staying emperor forever, being given all of the knowledge of how to become a alchemical dragon that he unearthed as soon as he took the throne.
Yes, I suppose that would also be bad. Although now I'm thinking of even worse possibilities. For instance, just give a full body shudder. Imagine if the Empire went back in time and prevented that witch in the middle of your continent from blowing up that mountain full of residium and creating that inland sea over there, thus providing the Empire with an almost limitless amount of magical items, and also, perhaps, averting their severe disgust towards magi.
Yeah, that doesn't actually sound so bad, does it? If the Empire was just not massively magist and sexist.
Oh, I'm sure they'd be sexist anyway, but having a lot of extra residium to do gods knows what with, one dragon's bad enough, they'd probably alchemize a whole legion of the damn things.
Well, this is a terrifying series of what ifs to think about for a long old time, but we have business to attend to. It's best just not saying.
Aye.
Of course. Of course.
Let us make the assumption that even if we fail, they can't massively retcon the world.
Sure.
That would be, yes, let's hope that that is the case. And if not, then I don't suppose there's much we can do about it at this point. Perhaps we've already been, retconned. How would we ever know?
Wait, no. Well, you'd know, right, Maury?
You just single Moriah flaps her wings. Yes, I would most certainly know if anything of the sort happened.
Good. See? A lot off my mind already. Life goes on. We're all fine.
It's gonna roll deception for Moriah.
She can have advantage. I don't want to. I want to embrace my sweet lie.
All right. Okay. Good enough. Tyrion doesn't really want to disbelieve it either.
It's just better to hold on to the lie, you know.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Right. Well then. Before I melt my brain thinking about all sorts of unfortunate possibilities, let's say we find you rooms for the night and get some dinner, eh?
Can I hug the
Sounds-
tree
That
Sounds
sounds
first?
good.
nice.
Oh yes, please. Feel free to hug the tree. Just side eye Hashat. Keep it chaste.
I will reach out and poke the tree, and expend a sorcery point.
Several flowers bloom on its branches.
Ooh, I wonder if this will work, considering I've changed specialities. I'm gonna give it a big ol' hug, and I'm gonna burn all my dice of healing light. I got celestial powers, baby.
All right. when you dump all of your Warlock dice into it, the flowers grow much larger than before and begin to overflow with sweet nectar.
Ha! Take that, Suri.
A big gooey dollop smacks you in the face.
No, that's just rude. But I will, of course, actually. I think I'm going to very gently bottle that, since that seems like it would be very potent.
It is. It smells like a whole bottle of honey on your face.
Yeah, gather that up. And you know what? I will hand that off to Hashat, considering her daughters make mead now. Maybe they'll be able to mix that into something nice.
Oh God.
Bit of starwood honey. I'm sure that would be great.
Starwood mead? Oh gee.
Now, how about that for special reserve breaking out for the visitors?
I'll be sure to send send the bottle here to you.
Yeah.
Ursula doesn't have any of that fucking magic stuff, so she's just gonna wrap her arms around it and just place her forehead against it and just really think hard about our son. Really wish that he gets better.
Yeah. As you sit or stand beside the tree, Ursula, one of the flowers snaps off of its branch and daintily wafts down through the air and lands upon your head. Perhaps purely by happenstance, the stem of it winds itself perfectly through your hair behind an ear.
Just whisper quietly.
Aww.
Yeah. Let him.
Oh my god, it's getting very warm in my room again. It's so stuffy tonight. It's very humid.
Yeah. It was over here as well because at least a discharge happened. Just get them back.
Yeah, small blessings.
Yeah. God, I fucking hate that shit. But yeah, it seems like the party is helping their stuff happen.
Oh wait a minute. I really should have thought of that sooner. There is someone else who can impart magic. Some primal divine magic. Hey Valeria, do you want to give it a go?
You feel hesitation in the crown, Valeria will say. I don't know if that's wise. I'm a cleric of fire, and that's a very flammable tree.
Hmm.
I don't want to get it too warm.
I. Hmm. I. Hmm. I suppose.
Better safe than sorry.
All right.
Say.
Siggy, meanwhile, will go over and lay on hands the tree, and we'll get much the same effect as Nahia. Its flowers bloom just a little bit brighter, though. Each time you dump divine magic
I'm
into
getting
it,
Robot
it
Rock
seems...
again.
Huh? What? Okay. Each time you
I
pump...
think she was saying like you were briefly turning robot-y for you.
Oh. So I can
But for
discord.
her,
fine.
sorry. I think it's
There you
just
go.
on
Your voice is just cut out
then.
completely.
I think it's just on your side.
Guess so.
Let's just change servers real quick. Is that any better? Gonna guess no.
Fine.
Kobe's muted. I don't know if they noticed that.
Oh, either way, yes. You seem to get diminishing returns each time you pump magic of the same type
No, it's
into
even
the tree.
worse.
God damn it.
Put us back on USC.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Now I can hear.
There you go. Just had to go to US South. Yeehaw.
Where did you try the first time?
US Central.
Yeah, that was apparently just a non-entity.
Wait, what? Then that's the thing. All of you fuckers are East Coast and Europe. Central is like inward.
Yeah, but the one we normally start on is US East, and that was giving us problems. So we moved to US Central because that's normally the functional
Is it?
functional alternative. Like this is the first time we've ever had to go to US South.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Anyway, so you seem to be getting diminishing returns every time you pump magic of the same kind into it. So Nahia gives a chunk of divine magic into the tree, gets a big effect. Siggy goes up next and gets the same sort of effect, but not quite so much. And similarly, if like Suhail were to come over or Tassie and try, you'd get it progressively less and less each time. But for now, the first attempt of that magic school gives you a big old bloom and dripping dew from the tree.
Man, Ashok should come past this shit.
Please stop trying to get Hashat to come on the tree.
No, I said Ashok, not Hashat.
Oh, either
They've
way.
already got druids here.
Yes, they do have a druid who works here as well.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Has Szooth's monk speciality changed from last time? Would that be different, Juju?
No, he's still a key monk. That'll always be the same.
Oh god, don't set that precedent, because there will be some new D&D like... Now we have a different kind of special violence monk that's not using key, they're using sure.
Of course, the chi monks.
No, it's the T-monks.
Ah, yes. We will expand our monastery. We will give them the stunning fist. We will drink the tea and purge all of the nativists.
And they put a face in the old
Ship it, I'm in.
put a fist into the face of shit and gobbledygook here.
Damn it. All right. So yeah.
I think Ethan has audio problem. I don't know if you can hear us. Can
It'd
you
be-
hear us? I think it's adjusting.
It would be amazing if we get everyone else to be able to hear, but then somehow US South just fucks DCL for no
put
reason.
second. He wrote in Sav&D chat.
Yeah, I know. That's all. Back in Discord. Anyway.
DCL, are you here?
Well, he's here, but he's not been able to talk. So maybe it's taking a little while to connect to the southern parts.
Test. Hello?
There you
Yes.
go.
Hello!
Holy Christ. See, the server crashed my NVIDIA broadcast, which completely fucked my settings so much that I didn't even recognize it wasn't using the right mic.
Wow.
God, Discord, what the fuck? That's impressive.
I mean, I'll be honest, DCL, this right now is the first time that you've sounded like you. You've been on the wrong mic all evening.
Motherfuck. Well, either way,
God, that bothers me so much.
Either way, what I was trying to say is that Monk already exists, they're called psionics, and everybody hates them.
What, T-monks?
Monks that use a different energy than Ki. Either way.
Oh no, I'm just thinking of, making a old-timey colonial British brawler. Fist cups old chap.
No, I'm not making Dudley. As much as I want to.
Anyway. So yeah, you guys can Magicate the tree. Merrick can swap some gardening tips with Sarian Starshaper. Is there anything else you'd like to do in town before you get your night's sleep and get underway?
I'm good. Have a nice time in the bar. Try and get people to chill the fuck out since they've apparently been having a stressful time.
Yeah, once news begins spreading that the heroic adventures have taken care of the demon, that does indeed begin to liven the place up, though they're still worried about the physically dangerous elementals now that the spiritually dangerous succubus has been dealt with. But again, it seems like these elementals aren't attacking the town, so that's nice at least. Then yeah, you can say your goodbyes and press out come morning.
So before we make the journey rolls, just want to take a moment and just real quick go over the plan for Ehrenberg. Like, how are we getting in?
I thought we were flying.
What?
How the fuck would we do that?
I thought the airship. Wait, am I thinking of the right place? No, I'm thinking of the wrong place.
What? No, so Ehrenberg is a dwarven hold.
Yeah, no, I
or
was
specifically, actually, that's a lie. Ehrenberg is a castle.
I was thinking of
the Iron Veins have a hold underneath Ehrenberg.
I was thinking of us immediately. My brain went to, oh yeah, invading the Hobgoblin country.
It's just skipping a couple steps. So if we think back, the first session of the campaign, in fact, began in Ehrenberg Village. There's a castle over top it, and in the mountains beneath and slightly to the side, there is the Iron Vein hold, which Ursula can tell you is quite large and includes probably several dozen. At this point, it could be well over 100 dwarves living inside it, serving staff, merchants, craftsmen, etc.
Yeah.
They have a mine down there as well, though most of the miners live in the village.
How are we planning on getting into the Iron Vein estate? Let's just go over that again, because it's been a bit.
I don't think you ever had a plan.
I am open to any suggestions. I'm just chomping at the bit to do violence upon them.
That's a suboptimal plan.
Is it?
Large. Yes, because it would start with us trying to break down the door of a dwarven hold, and then it would lead to us being surrounded by an army, and then we would all be dead.
We would all die so gloriously. Sorry, I'm channeling my Snippy right now.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, that's not good. Here's the thing. Ursula has, well, intimate knowledge about the entire fucking Iron Vein whole layout.
Mm-hmm.
Ways in, ways out.
Well, the way in and the way out, but yes.
Yeah, she knows where this is the, well, it can become another operation, poo in the loop.
Yeah, you could try and come up through the toilets again. It is very likely that...
Operation Shitter's Club.
I would kind of think that would be completely impossible for Tarn, Nahia.
Definitely
Hashat could
Hashat.
probably... Well, no, Hashat could manage it because she can stone melt.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have
I
no
know.
problem getting into the hall. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, Nahia, however, and Tarnavak probably are going to struggle to get through a poop chute.
And I would struggle more than Nahia. I have fucking wings.
Oh god, yeah, the wings too. I was just thinking of your height and breadth. Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting them wings through anywhere.
Yeah, we cannot utilize Operation Poop Shoot. At least not for the whole party.
Yeah, you could
We
1000% just squirt Szooth up there.
Yeah. However, Szooth, DCL solo sneaking missions do not have a high track record.
They barely have
No.
an existing track record.
I will counter that with, in this campaign, he has had a stunning record.
Yeah, I've done at least two of them that come to mind.
Yeah, so Szooth has a good track record. I think we're all still just a little traumatized after poor Zanza.
Very,
Yeah.
very, that was the worst fucking timing.
Yeah. But ultimately up to you guys. I'm not sure what Szooth would necessarily accomplish on his own in there. Because...
He has... If he could sneak in and through, he could actually open the door from the inside and, not at least stun the guards there long enough for us to all rush in and then close it behind us. And then we've only got, the entire Iron Vein army inside instead.
Yeah, the thing is, getting into the place is probably not going to be super challenging. The Iron Veins are a merchant house. They want you to just walk in the door and buy their shit. At least generally speaking.
And
They
do
might
they
not.
actually have... Sorry, I would have assumed they had like a shop in the town rather than in their hold.
They do have a town down in a shop down in the town. But if you want to actually do business with the Iron Veins, you're going to be going up into the hold. Yeah, to the
They are
escape proper. Because that's also where the actual mine is. So if you're gonna pick up like a bunch of iron ore, you gotta go there. That's also where their
hardcore work.
craftsmen work for like bulk shipments. So yeah, like someone like Nahia could probably just walk in the front door and be like, "What's up, bitches? I'm here to do business." However, that said, Radomir is there. You know that for a fact, and Radomir
I
knows
was
all
gonna
of your
say I can't
faces.
do that. Yeah, I can't do that with Radomir around.
Yeah.
You know, I probably can. I do sort of. I can do Hat of Disguise shenanigans to look like another merchant, and quite frankly, I do actually have a need of quite a few weapons and stuff. It wouldn't actually be a lie for me to go up and talk to them about getting a lot of iron. Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's the rest of us.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a reason we can't just go with you?
Well, there's a reason Nahia can't, at the very least.
Rated T for teen.
What the fuck?
What is rated T for teen?
Sorry, have my phone. Opened it up
DCL,
on YouTube
please.
video.
My dude, you really have to get better at like muting or push to talk or whatever.
I was just checking my phone.
RTX voice.
I do use RTX voice.
You clearly don't.
I'm using it right now. That's why I wasn't having Discord working earlier.
All right.
So in other words, it seems like it's a plan we're gonna have to cobble up in between sessions.
I think I'd prefer that. I'm tired.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you're not. I'm tired as well. I still ate, but I have the blood and pills in me, but they make my focus wander.
Sure. Let's do the travel rolls and get you to the village, and we can focus on the plan once you have a little more information from the town.
Bleh.
Perfectly acceptable.
Sounds good to me.
Good, good.
Plus, I know this path really well.
Yep. Wandered this one many times.
And then
It gets Nahia.
Yep. Let me press the button. 21.
All right. Y'all are good. So, just as a matter of curiosity, Hashat, do you typically walk at the front or the back of the column? Because you kind of take up a big chunk of the group on your own.
When we're going into combat, I'm generally at the back because I don't want to obstruct everybody.
Fair enough.
Just always stay at the back so you can stare at Cassidy's ass.
That is a fair point. Let me just rearrange tokens here. There you go. Perfect.
Plus, I can just like earth step and stuff, so I can move pretty quickly when I need to.
Yeah. All right. So you make it a couple of days through the mountains up towards Ehrenberg. The village is much quieter than when you were last here at, I believe, the spring festival, in fact. But there are some familiar faces standing in the village square when you arrive.
Oh, bloody hell.
It's Jelinar.
Indeed, there is a dwarf sitting quite grumpily at the front of his cart, chewing on a sandwich and muttering to himself. Beyond him, there is, of course, the village well, a large salamander with a Candernite tabard and blacksmith hammer on her belt.
I thought I recognized that name.
And yeah, indeed, you find your first employer from all those, in fact, just slightly over a year ago now. Jack Raymond is sitting against the well, speaking to a cat girl who looks remarkably like himself, while another balding dwarf stands a few paces off, arms crossed, looking quite dour. Seems you've wandered into some sort of conversation.
This is not a blast.
A dwarf looking tower? I disbelieve that.
I know, right? It's so uncommon.
He
This
looks
is
like a grumpy old cunt. I don't know, is he a dwarf? Shut up.
So, are we actually playing this scene, or is this...
I'll leave that up to you guys. There's potentially some information you could gather that might be helpful to your plans, but if everyone is tired, we can do that next time.
I'm good to play it, I just...
Yeah, I might be on the quiet side, but I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's information that helps us, sure.
At least potentially.
I see, I'm up front, so come up. Just lean over the well and say, is that Jacques Raymond, I see?
Cat boy turns, blinks, and turns again. Oh, the gods and spirits! Look who's wandered back. And quite a lot of you indeed. Glance up at Hashat. Aye, you're growing like a weed. And Tarnavak, Szooth, Ursula, you're looking even more scarred than last time we saw each other. Nahia, you're also growing. Something in the water, I suppose.
Indeed. Oh yeah, absolutely. Keeps us thick.
Wait, Szooth barely looks scarred.
And he said that to Ursula.
Szooth is like one of the only few who hasn't changed.
Well, you look... Actually, how does he look? Does he look different much? Or?
He looks tired, but largely the same. His hair's grown out a bit, much as Cassidy's had, and he's got some fine new armor and a rapier that's got several jewels encrusted into the hilt, and what looks like silver chasing on it.
Oh, you look like you have had quite some adventures yourself. And a particularly long day, Jacques.
That I have. I imagine, well, dare I put words in your mouth, but I imagine you're here to see the iron veins too, huh?
That was our hope.
Yes, I can't put my finger on it. The dwarves are being notoriously their tight-lipped selves. Glance over his shoulder at the alderman. And something's gone down in the hold. I won't let me or the good Lord Jalinar in. But we can talk business in a bit. I don't believe you've had the chance to meet my sister Marie. She's married to the good Baron Lavarn. You
Oh, she's
might.
already married? That's a shame.
Indeed, I'm afraid it's quite taken, and alas, given the circumstances I'm sure you've heard about down in the valley, quite concerned for a little barony.
Aye, the new elemental plague.
Elementals, demons, I say we, that's a bit overstepping. Murray's husband hired a group of adventurers, and they seem to have turned up a necromancer out in the woods and put it down. I say it was simply a skeleton slinging spells at people. But yes, things are looking a bit grim around here. That's why I've come out myself.
Oh. If there is any assistance we can give, I'm sure that we will.
Well, I hear you have some experience taking out elementals. Finding their den and destroying it would certainly help all of us. I seem to hear that it's in the same volcano where you met my lovely Stellana. In fact, Salamander Forge Priestess will nod.
Yo.
Long time no see.
Have you been well, milady?
Well as can be, but you'll gesture around. I came hoping to find a forge temple down below, one of the largest in the country, besides my own. Instead, I see the doors are barred and the priests will not see me. I do not like it.
I would have some understanding for Jacques, but to turn away a fellow priest of Candon,
Jacques will put in. Indeed, especially since, from what I gather, the good Lord Ironvein is gathering priests from all over. Something about his son having fallen ill. Indeed, I thought Stellana would be a shoo-in to get through the door, but alas, if anything, they seem to be more vitriolic about turning us away once she showed her colors.
and what
Does not surprise me.
Does it not? Have you heard about this goings-on?
We might know a few things.
What we have heard is nothing good, I'm afraid.
Or
And what we
Jalinar will just
know,
rumble and swallow a bit of sandwich. I swear I come from one dwarf hold. It's falling to shit right to another.
this
the
one
world
we
these
should hopefully
days.
have resolved for you in no time.
Why, the last one was resolved too. Jalinar will tear off another bite of sandwich, swallow it angrily. Resolved with a Thane murdered, son held captive.
Well,
As he said,
hopefully
when he
it's the
says that, it's versus just flexy and fur and ears is just bristling up.
Well, you're half right.
We should, if we are able to gain entrance, we should be able to prevent it from growing so ill as that.
Well, I should hope so. The Iron Veins are one of the most important suppliers of iron and weapons to Anderland. Our lands would be, well, not defenseless, but we'd certainly be at a significant disadvantage if they were to close their doors forever.
I could
Indeed,
probably
that's...
blow the door in.
Well, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The Thane holds their
Indeed.
semi-independent realms down there, and don't want to go declaring war. That's just going to make them dig their
No.
heels in even more.
Just wondering if you had any advice on getting in a little bit under the radar to resolve this matter.
Jelinar's just gonna look up, look between Hashat and you, shake his head. Not through the poop shoots this time.
No, I suspect. Oh, is that how the last one was resolved?
He nods.
Oh, that's just unpleasant.
I think it's rather practical.
Horribly
Yeah.
unpleasant. Then, well, it didn't get any better after that.
Oh, joy.
I would also say that that even with our expertise, it would be a great offense to try to force our aid on anyone. And as I say that, I'm just going to be side-eyeing towards, the bald dwarf.
Yeah, the alderman will nod emphatically. The two catfolk will glance over. Jocks will say,
You're right. I'd speak ahead of myself. It has been a long journey, and I am frustrated to see our way will not be a particularly easy one getting in.
well, you wouldn't be adventurers if anything was easy. You'd just be coasters.
A bit of coasting here and there would be nice. Just a bit.
His sister will tweak an ear. Still,
Well,
perhaps with the lot of us together, we can browbeat or charm a guard to letting us in.
if it's the same guards as always, which more than likely it probably is, then maybe I got some things that can be used. Because we only need to speak to him first.
Him being...
When Ursula's gonna say Colton's name, but she says it with
The
enough
Lord of
eyes
the Hold.
Yeah. She just says his name with enough eyes to actually manifest that fear.
Jock's gonna kind of lean back. I take it you have something of a grudge against the Thane down there, eh?
There's
Did
a
the short
bit of
stature and wide shoulders give it away?
there's a bit of personal business, yes.
Well,
It's not what that's about this time. That takes a back seat.
I know. I know very well. I gave my word.
Grudges of the past. I will wait until Thane's heir is hale.
Yes, well. Still, let's indeed try not to start some sort of war between, I don't know, say the County Raymond and a under Thanedom. I don't think, considering the unpleasantness up north, the realm really needs that sort of bullshit going on. Hey,
Who is that guy?
it's the alderman of the town.
What is that?
The village elder.
I see.
In Swedish, it's Alderman, and then you just transfer it to
Oh,
Alderman,
I see.
like Elderman.
Yeah, it's elder.
Indeed. Good alderman, I've been told your position. I'm afraid I did not catch your name.
Ah, yes, I am Alderman Jochen, proudly serving Ehrenberg for well over 100 years.
Wow.
It's pride indeed.
Incline his head. I do not know what has transpired underneath in our neighbor's abode, but whatever it is, I have only heard that the good Thane asks for privacy and respect, and that is what we should give him. His heir is ill, and he has conjured priests from across the realm.
Is there a place that we can go where there are less ears?
Why do you need less ears if you have nothing to hide? This is a God-fearing and honorable community. If you have a grudge, you may settle it with the Thane honorably once this illness is resolved, I'm sure, but for now,
Well,
let
look,
there be no
Alderman,
skullduggery.
a god is exactly what the problem is.
Wait.
He seems to take deep offense at that.
Not yours, Oldman.
Shut up, Hashat. We come in the company of a priestess of Woavar and of the old god of death, the Morrigan. We may be able to provide some assistance to the Thane gods, but he has not been able to call upon.
I do not know what this old god you speak of is, but if there are new Pantheon members that can offer assistance, perhaps the Iron Veins will accept your assistance. But still, we'll look at Ursula. We must be neighborly in these times of trouble. That is how we have survived through war and peace and famine and plenty alike. Take a step over to Ursula and put a big, weathered hand on your shoulder. Please, sister, keep your weapons to yourself. In Ehrenberg. We do not need more trouble between sick heirs and demons and elementals now. These are troubled times. We should not add to them.
I have given my word already. So let's need it.
Good, good. And if you wish to entreat the Thane's guards, I am willing to take you down and see to his gates. And I cannot guarantee more than that. It'll be up to his decision whether such priestesses are allowed within his walls. Jox will look between the lot of you and say, yeah, why don't I head down with you? Just have a little bit of authority to help keep the peace in case the other side of the grudge isn't quite so word-bearing. Hey,
A worthwhile decision, Jacques. And if I remember rightly, you have scholarly knowledge of your own that may prove to be quite some aid.
I am but a humble bard and historian. But if I can be of assistance, simply name the task. Yeah, we'll look to Jally. Say, well, come along then, old friend. Let's all head down to the Thanehold and see what lack of trouble we can fail to stir up.
It just gets out a big cloak for herself.
Yes, that's a good idea. Good idea.
Pull my hood and sigh.
Well, maybe a couple hours walk, I guess. You can regale me with the stories of your adventures on the way. I hear there's been leviathans and demons and even Dalmanotha.
I don't think hours is enough to go through all we have seen recently.
Maybe the first quarter.
Not even that, if we're going into detail.
Now, don't threaten me with a good time now. Come, let's get started. He'll throw an arm around the nearest two of you and lead the way down the mountain path. Only his sister will remain behind the lot of you, looking deeply concerned as you march off towards the dwarf hold. And that, I think, is a good place to end the session. So, as always, let's do experience, because I think you guys are actually getting pretty damn close to the big 400 mark.
Indeed.
Soon?
Yeah,
Not
it's
this
like
time. Probably
39.
next time.
You guys are at, like, what, 394, right?
I'm at 393.
Yeah. I am very slightly behind. So.
Well, did you explore a new interesting location for the first time? No, these are all been places you've been to before, and you didn't really explore the barrow. You just kind of stood on the outside of it. Did you discover a new interesting truth about the world?
We looked into that wraithlings through the window and the fact that winter is actually now aging quite quickly. It's become a sleepy boy.
Yeah, I guess the rapidity of the aging is a new truth. Sure.
There's also elementals again in the volcano.
Yep. That's
That's
a
not been
new
dealt
issue.
with.
Did you make a new ally or a lasting enemy? Aside from the 2 miners at the end of the session, I don't think you met anybody new, so not really there.
And we didn't change the status of, like, Rejan's sister wife? What the
No.
fuck?
Not yet. Although you certainly made progress towards it. Did you advance or complete a quest? Yes, dramatically on a couple of different lanes there. Did you discover a new page in a companion story?
I would say in this, I would say the whole brain. Well, they like the only one that initially knew about the agent was what's her name again? Nahia.
Only one who knew about what? Sorry?
About the August aging.
No, it's not a new revelation.
But we're also talking about a new page in a companion story.
Companion.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
he is a companion, actually.
I mean, all right, that's fair. He's offered to come with you guys.
I mean, he lives in the companion's box on the front page.
That is
So-
true. Yes, he does count. However, no, this is not new information, fortunately.
is it not?
No. This was revealed to you guys during the party at the Randy Cat.
No, he only spoke with what's the name of it? Nahia on the side. Remember?
It still was revealed to the players.
Oh, okay.
If we can think of a different new truth about the world, then yeah, we can rub like how rapidly he's getting to be an old sleepy bitch in this slot. But
we did knew about the world was the fucking fire elementals,
that's not new. That was literally like our second adventure.
No, they knew that they are, resurfaced, starting to harass.
Yeah, the elementals are literally back now.
Yeah, that is new.
I think the elementals being back is less interesting than the fact that they've specifically avoided attacking the town or hurting anybody so far. That's probably the new and interesting part there. So then, yeah, put that there. Put Augie's aging in the last slot for a total of, I believe, 3 XP.
Yeah.
So 396.
Right. Well, if you are watching on the stream or YouTube, thanks for tuning in. That's it for Sav&D. We'll see you in a few days for Sav&D. Till then, adios and take care.